Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. As you can see, Ross is having a well-earned week off this week. At no expense, we have flown in only the best for you at home. His stunning replacement, Andrew, from all the way from the other side of the office.
Oh, stop it. Thank you, Maffew. That was very kind of you. I'm very excited, very nervous to be here. Big shoes to fill. But I'm looking forward to talking to the boys and having a nice time.
This is going to be a wholesome-ass edition of the podcast, Maffew.
It certainly is. I can't wait for Andrew to ruin his lovely Twitch career in 3 short hours. And the other end of this week's Muller Corner, the vanilla chocolate balls himself, Jack the Jobber.
That's a very good one. That's very good. How are you, Maffew?
I'm doing grand because I am leading the charge in this podcast. The little spoon himself, Maffew, dressed up in my American onesie because it's bloody freezing.
It is cold. It is cold in Newcastle. Did you know that Newcastle's the coldest city in England?
Do you know what, Jack? I did know this because right, I watched your Desert Island Graps the other day because I've just been on a podcast. I've been on a massive podcast binge recently. Just been listening to all sorts of different stuff, and I was like, "Go on, then. I'll listen to what Jack's got to say." And you said it in there.
Oh, thanks.
Always learning.
Now I feel very. Did I say anything weird?
No, you were fine. I had to think then. No, but you were fine. You were all good.
That's all right then. That's all good.
Fantastic, because obviously, Andrew, you're not from Newcastle upon Tyne, or this area of the North East, Richie. Where are you from, Andrew, for the people who don't know you?
I'm from North Yorkshire, a little town called Skipton, where there's a big Tesco where I used to work. It's mental, right? Fish and chip shop, canal boats and stuff. I think there was an Olympian or something because we've got a goal post box, but I'm actually not entirely sure about who it is. Which is good, right? I should probably know that, but...
Is that a thing, by the way? If you have an Olympian from your town, you get a goal post box? I didn't know that.
Do we have one in Newcastle?
We must do.
There's got to be.
Well, Pac's going to win the AEW World title this year, so then we'll get one.
Yeah.
God, it's a cool thing. I'm going to have to Google that afterwards. Maybe other people could do it in another tab while they listen to us run down the news. Compiled together lovingly by I think we decided last week, Jack, our loyal news monkey.
He's a lesser news ape.
Oh, that was it. The lesser news ape. Andrew Gibbons.
Aidan Gibbons.
Aidan Gibbons. I'm good with names, Jack. More on that later on.
As we've previously learned, yeah.
Look, I'm good with some things. Pictures of dogs wearing good clothing, and that's it. I max out all my stats in the wrong categories, I'm sorry.
Just before we get on to the news, somebody emailed in the mailbag and the email didn't make the cut, and they'd included some pictures of their dogs for you to include on your wall, and I feel so terrible for that person, so I'd just like to apologise now to that person for not getting their email in the mailbag section.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, I don't have a printer.
Oh, well then.
Cultaholic has a printer.
How many dogs do you want printed off?
Right, that could be my big walk next week. Or this week, whatever. I mean, we've got 7 inches of snow outside, so maybe the last thing I ever do. But yeah, that could be my reason to leave the house.
Fair enough.
So if you send that to Andrew, then Andrew can print them off. I will pick up the dog. I will walk. I will walk the 2 hours in the 2.5 hours, I guess, with the snow. Get the dogs and go cheers, and then walk back.
Right, I'll forward those to you, Maffew, after this podcast, and we'll have.
I can't wait.
Cool.
I can't wait. More dogs for the dog wall. We'll start off the negative stuff for the news, the big news from last week, because obviously we do this on Thursday and stuff always happens inevitably on the Friday. Butch Reid passed away at the age of 66 last week. I've read about him being a big star in 83, around Mid-South UWF, but I'm not that into it, to be honest with you, at that period of history. To me, he'll always be one half of the tag team of doom. Late day NWA, early WCW. Their manager Teddy Long, and obviously Big Ron Simmons. Obviously, he's also known infamously kind of as the person who was scheduled to possibly be in line to defeat Ricky Steamboat. Does get a bit hazy if you ask certain 80s wrestlers for the IC title. He wasn't making his bookings, so instead they went, who else can we do? Hey, that Elvis guy, that could work.
Oh, right.
That's how we got the Honky Tonk Man's run. mostly true. Like I said, a lot of these stories do tend to get a bit Rashomon. But what about yourself, Jack? Any memories or thoughts about Butch Reid?
No, I didn't read. Obviously, I knew the name. I knew who Butch Reid was, but I wasn't too familiar with him. But if there's ever a small positive when someone does sadly pass away, it's that people share around their favorite memories and matches of those people. So there's always a chance to learn more. So that's been good this week. He just seemed like one of those proper old school wrestlers who just seem hard as balls and terrifying. So it's great.
Absolutely. And someone uploaded a little clip on Twitter. The spot where the good guy's giving the bad guy a sunset flip, but then the bad guy grabs the ropes.
The yellow are on, as OSW would say.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. God, yeah, thank you. He's got the ropes, and the referee's like, hey, go off. And it just kicks the hands out. There's a clip of Butch Reid on Twitter where he does that. And as he's going down, Butch Reid does the 2 hours point at the referee. It's amazing. And Andrew, like you said, sometimes some of us here at Cultaholic get confused as to how much about wrestling you exactly know.
Yeah.
So did you know Butch Reid?
Not sort of well. Again, sort of like Jack said, he wasn't someone that I really followed or sort of knew a lot about. But again, yeah, it's I say it's nice, but obviously when someone passes away, it is nice that people remember that person, and you see lots of things online and everything about it. And I saw that GIF as well that you're on about there, and I was like, oh man, he seems like a cool dude, just doing that. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't know too much about him. But yeah, I'm gonna check some more stuff out.
Yeah. Butch Reid doing the "you're pretty good" as he goes out. Also passing away, Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks, famous for his 1978 victory, surprisingly, over Muhammad Ali, the only man to take a title from Ali in the ring. The aging Ali expected an easy fight, instead completely outboxed by Spinks, who did not tire throughout the bout. The reason why I bring him up is because he is one of the only men, I think the only guy, touch wood, to hold a World Heavyweight Boxing title and a Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight title. As Onita brought him into FMW because Onita was trying to outdo Inoki, who famously had that little thing with Muhammad Ali. So he thought, aha, I'll get the guy who beat Ali, therefore I'll be better than Inoki. And
wow.
Wrestlers. And
I never knew that. And when you said Leon Spinks, I had my wrestling brain on, not my everything apart from wrestling brain. So I was like, who did he work for? And then you were like, the guy who beat Muhammad Ali. I was like, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow, fair enough.
Obviously him. So yeah, 2 world titles in 2 complete different sports. And he did show up at a few of wrestling events in Philadelphia. Leon Spinks will be in attendance, and I think there's at least one CGW show he was flown into it. He can't see it, but apparently he's he's front row grinning, and then the main event comes on, he's just asleep. Oh. So respect for Leon Spinks, and there's amazing matches he had with Onita. Just because I felt like just sharing that. That's I'm gonna go. And what are your memories of Leon Spinks, professional wrestler? Because I don't think there'll be any. So feel free to shock me. No, go on once, go on twice. That's absolutely fine.
Nothing.
In news that people care about, WWE's Bad Bunny merchandise has brought in over $500,000. According to Fightful Select, all 4 items of Bad Bunny merch occupy the top-selling spots on WWE Shop, with the men's t-shirt at number 1, pullover hoodie at number 2, women's t-shirt at number 3, and youth t-shirt at number 4.
Right. So, obviously, there was a bit of a debate when he appeared at the Rumble, because not everybody, but a lot of people were going, well, I've never heard of Bad Bunny. And then everybody else was saying, where have you been? And everyone else replied, we've been watching wrestling and stuff. Now, I find it a bit odd, because you know how the Super Bowl happened last week? There were people on my Twitter saying they'd never heard of The Weeknd. Andrew, fair enough, fair play, Andrew said, I've not really listened to The Weeknd, but I'm aware of him. And I was thinking, God, you've never heard of The Weeknd? Everyone's surely heard of The Weeknd, but apparently not. And it made me realise, goths are weird. Not goth. I mean, I consider myself more on the alternative side of the spectrum than the chart music side, if that is a sliding scale at all. But I mean, I've heard of The Weeknd. Some of his songs are bloody marvellous, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That
one.
That's the only one that I know, but it's good though.
I should point out, it wasn't wrestling people I follow saying they never heard of The Weeknd, because after WrestleMania last year,
everybody
there was no choice. There was no choice in the matter. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, the rest of the podcast isn't going to be heard because we're going to get DMCA'd. That pitch perfect. I'm
sorry.
Richard, can you just put over just like like the bad recorder version?
Just a MIDI version.
Yeah.
This is not the weekend. Cheese pizza. Sorry.
Oh no.
Getting there early.
Andrew went to Stay Gold once. Were you there on the infamous Stay Gold night? That night with the pizza?
I wasn't on cheese pizza night. We just went like one. I can't remember what it was. We just went one night after.
Palmo night.
I was I was drunk, right? And I remember like there was a girl in a different like part, and she was like, "Oh, I'm from Yorkshire," and I was like, "You know, you're drunk and it just sounds amazing." I was like, "Our mate's from Yorkshire," and I ran and grabbed Andrew, and I was like, "There he is!" And then like a song came on that I liked, so I just went off again back into the main bit and left Andrew with this poor. Well, left poor Andrew with this poor girl, and neither of them.
We were just like talking like, "Where are you from?" "Oh yeah, not so far from down road, yeah." And then she was like, I can't remember. I think she said she was from Hawes or something. And I was like, "That's it. That's my in. Last at Summer Wine." And then I just like started spouting off about
nice.
Last of the Summer Wine for like half an hour. And she was like, "I think I'm gonna go back to my friends now." And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably a good idea."
Well, that's all right. I mean, it didn't go as badly as I thought it might have gone because I just forced two just people who had not. You were both from Yorkshire, and I decided they must be friends. Yeah,
it's
I was
like a connection. You know, you hear one like in the distance, like, "Whoa, what's that?" Someone just missed out a T in a word, and you're like,
"Yeah,
my friend," and then you just go, and then you're instantly like drawn to them and speak to them. It's a connection.
I look back and I'm really embarrassed of myself because I was like, what was I doing? I felt like I was playing The Sims or something.
You were very drunk.
I was drunk that night.
Very drunk.
Remember when we could go out and have friends?
That was a good night as well.
No.
That was a good night? No, do you remember?
No, what are you talking about? Please say more. The theatre of the mind. I'll just shut my eyes and think about this alien world. It is funny you say that though, because one time at Magfest in USA land, there was some like, "Hey, there's another British person here," and I'm like, and in my head I'm like, "Oh, come on, mate." I'm like, "Oh, is there?" You know, like,
yeah.
played along because the Americans are all like, they're all Anglophiles, they're all obsessed. They're like, "Hey, come over here." I know, "Dylan, come here." Anyway, all right. I went,
got nothing in common.
Like,
Nothing in
mate,
common.
come on. Like, what do you want us to do? "Oh, so how's the Queen?"
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what you want from this, pal. She's fine, she's asking after you. So there we go from that one discussion from Bad Bunny's merch. So clearly we're all going to go out and buy it after this. And according to a report from Fightful Select, Steve Cutler was released. He was released stemming from having COVID in early January, tested positive. And I think that's been not the reason for the getting rid of. The reason is knowing that there's going to be a high risk of contagion. Him and a lot of other people attended a New Year's Eve party.
Right.
And that was probably what got him released. Because people specifically, I don't know, Roman Reigns, someone who sticks out the most, is probably like, "Yeah, I'm only going to come back if it's safe." And seeing people who are, let's face it, easy to get rid of, doing stuff like this, it's, it's like, "Oh, Steve." Casey Catanzaro went on Twitter to have a go, I believe, at Wrestle Talk, to clarify things, saying, hey, they only attended New York City parties like lots of other people were doing.
That makes it worse.
That's why he was
that makes it so much worse.
Right. She's deleted the tweet since, after everyone went, "What's your point?" "Yeah, all right, fine. We agree. Yeah, well done." And then I saw James Van Der Beek edit her in the Ninja Turtles 2 film as Super Spreader. Anyway, yeah, so that's Cutler getting released. Obviously, it's not like, yay, he's released, but at the same time, it's like, oh, where, mate?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
What's Wesley going to do? Wesley Blake? It's not his fault.
I don't know, I hope he's got a Nintendo Switch. Got nothing, pal. Also, the rest of the formerly, hopefully you word this correctly, the rest of formerly known as Tyler Rex, now is a Gabby Tuft. And we here at Cultaholic are always happy reading how people find themselves in this wonderful journey of life we all find ourselves traveling through. And we all wish Gabby... Oh, wait, she's a COVID denier. And she goes to shops and encourages people not to wear masks.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Was that? Did you know this, or did you just read that? Was that acting?
No,
or
this is
did
me
you
trying
know-
to act. I'm sorry.
That was really good. That was
very
really
good.
well timed.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes the
good.
stuff's all right. Yeah, makes up for the stuff where makes up for all the
obviously-
other times where I stutter and start like I'm trying to prime a chainsaw.
We're obviously fully behind LGBTQ
Yeah.
stuff, but we're not behind COVID denying.
No.
God.
Yeah, it's always suck. I'm one of these people who's like, oh, LGBT stuff so heartwarming and nice, and they get reminded, oh wait, they can still be a bastard. Oh, anyway, have a nice life, Gabby, as long as it lasts.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I think that might be the news to end on.
Oh wait, end on
Wow,
there.
what a way,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Find that a
Brilliant.
bit better then, ready? Hey, Leon Spinks, what a guy, hey. Oh yeah, there really is the news.
Do the claps.
Wait, no. To tribute to Butch, can we all go, that was the news, and fall backwards and point at the camera?
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. That was the news.
It's worth
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Seamless.
So good.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Now time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And in condescending order from last week, obviously Ross's picks were in here. Brody Jr.'s commentary, 23%. Oh dear, how sad. Never mind.
Well, now for
Because-
context.
yeah,
for
go on then,
context-
you tell me,
Sorry, I didn't want to. You sounded incredibly heartless.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, sorry, I was going to add some context. Go on.
Oh, go for it. I'll let you. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, God, thank you very much, pal. Ross only put this in because I had voted for it. Not voted for it, I'd submitted it, I should say, and it hadn't got in. So Ross put my pick in from 2 weeks ago just to see if he would get in because he's Ross.
Just a big flex, wasn't it?
It was a flex. Yeah, oh, not flexing much, are you, pal? 23%. Billy Kay. Specifically her performance at the Rumble, which my housemate who doesn't watch wrestling loved and adored because she was amazing. 37%. Oh, well. I think one of them was from my housemate, so thanks for throwing your money away. But obviously, I can't really talk about flexes and Ross this week while talking about the pick. Ross's mum, 40%.
Thank
Well
you.
deserved.
What's Ross's mum's name, Jack?
I don't know, and I didn't want to dox her, so I didn't say it.
Oh,
well,
good
I
lad.
still don't. I didn't ask what it was. I didn't even, just in case I accidentally did. So
Yeah,
I
you know what it isn't,
don't
though?
actually know. It's not Kayla.
It's not Kayla, no.
No, it's
You'd
not
have to be
Kayla.
a tit to hear Kayla and think, oh, is that your mum? And Ross go, no. It's the last you've met, Maffew.
Yeah.
I think you're Facebook friends with her as well. I'm like,
I told my girlfriend about this, and she was like, "Oh, that explains it," because she said that you come up to her and you once were like, "Hello, trouble," which sounds like
Yeah.
which is a good way of. But she was like, "Oh, that must be why." Yeah, that was fair enough.
look, I'm bad with names.
Yeah,
Faces I
fair,
never forget,
totally fair.
but
Yeah.
names just...
Of course.
Hello, Jack's friend. You know,
Yeah.
that's if I like you. Don't even know Jack. So, as the winner of last week's isn't here, Andrew, would you like to go first in your submission for this week's Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Ooh. I was a bit nervous about trying to figure out what to do here, but then I heard someone was like, "Oh, Adam picked grass or something one time," so I was like, "Okay, well,
That's
maybe it
against
should
the
be all
spirit.
right."
It's against the spirit of the Hall of
I'm
Fame,
not
but you
saying I've
did.
gone for grass.
Okay.
So I'm going for clouds.
No,
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
you.
I'm going for Nia Jax's hole.
He might have won
My
it, Maffew.
pick. So right, and my reasoning for this is obviously just a fantastic segment in the wrestling this week. I mean, you can't deny that. But right, in a week that's also included Weetabix and beans, like it still somehow managed to shine through that.
Yeah.
So that hole has managed to shine through and spread so much light on the social media as a whole. She's even had like, what is it, bidet companies come up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
say, do you want a sponsorship? Do you want a free one and that? And like, that's my pick. I'm going for it. That's the one. Not Weetabix and beans, but Nia Jax's hole.
Sometimes in the Hall of Fame, a tap-in presents itself to you, but you'd be a fool not to accept that. And and fair enough, fair enough, Andrew. I
Is that a
commend you for
crowd
that.
pleaser though? Should I have gone for something else?
No, that is a crowd pleaser.
Okay.
That is a crowd pleaser. Don't worry about. It's not like You're like the John Cena. You're not the Ricky Steamboat. You know what I mean? You're not like
okay.
But you've appealed to the masses, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's good. That's all right.
Yeah, Jack just called you a mid-carder, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's John Cena.
I know.
I thought that would have been an easy pick, like Jack said. But those puns, I mean, it's like puns. Oh, there we go. And yeah, thank you. We'll be having them.
That's what life's all about, is puns. I'm getting hot and then cold. I keep taking this jacket off. But I'm ready. God. I'm ready, guys. I'm feeling good.
He's buzzing with that.
Good.
Oh.
Feeling good.
That's it. The Hall of Fame's done. You're good now. Just coast the rest of the time. I'll go second, just because. Oh, no, Christ. I've just remembered, actually. And this is me like trying to crap act. My mum sent me a message saying, can you nominate me for Hall of Fame because I haven't been put in? I'm like, I'll figure a way out. Can we just put her in the Hall of Fame because... as an honorary member, because I don't want to have to deal with the fact that my mum doesn't get voted in, and then she sends me Maffew the Burr. I'm like, no, Mum, don't cry.
She fully deserves to be a member of the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. We'll just pretend she's in. All right, Mum, did you hear that?
I think she might be the only non-member of the podcast who's done an intro. I mean, that's pretty good.
There we go. That's just it. You're honorary member, Mum. Thank you for all your services. You got the Purple Heart from Cultaholic. Right? My other pick, probably one this week. I was having a lovely listen to some bands and stuff that my dad likes, like Little Feat and some of the ones that you probably would have heard of, and just enjoying the dad music that I always thought I'd get round to but didn't, and thought, well, I've got plenty of spare time now. And I came across something I think's good. Middle of the Venn diagram for everybody here watching and listening to this, and that is Electric Light Orchestra's Mr. Blue Sky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair.
I mean, I've been listening to a lot of ELO this week, and my God, what a weird, strange, cool band they were. But then Mr. Blue Sky came on, and nothing but good memories came up because it's been used in so many different things and so many different adverts and TV, film, whatever. But I can like shut my eyes and think of the times it's come on at Rise, and I've been like, oh, I'm kind of knackered. Me like, oh, she's probably gone home, and I dun 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 comes on. And I'm like, yeah, sun is shining. Yeah, you know how it sounds.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yes, so that is my pick for the Hall of Fame this week.
That's a big pick. And music songs sometimes do get nominated, but it's usually by me when I can't think of what to do, and I've just been listening to that song that week. So we'll see how this goes. This is already hotting up to be a great Hall of Fame week, and therefore I present my nomination for the Hall of Fame. Last
Andrew
week
puts on his jacket for
again.
Effect.
My nomination is last week's Hall of Fame segment.
Ooh.
Because it was, I think it was an all-time great.
Meta.
I know.
Very meta right here.
Andrew, ask him why he's doing that.
Why are you doing this, Jack? This is from Maffew. This was a question from Maffew in the audience. Maffew is asking, why have you done this?
Should I answer it like a politician?
Yeah.
Well, obviously we've... No, that's more footballer after a football match. Boris, what do you think of this trade agreement? Yeah, of course, yes. Great performance. I'm doing it to try and win, guys. I'm doing it to try and win, but I wasn't expecting... I forgot about Nia Jax's hole. So now I'm not... Well, exactly, and now I'm not as confident. But my nomination is last week's Hall of Fame segment.
But anything specific about it for the people who didn't perhaps
Oh, sorry, right. I see what you're doing. God, this is like when one of the kids forgets their line in the nativity and the teacher's like, follow the star. Yeah. So I think that it was a great Hall of Fame segment because of the tactics involved. Like, you had Ross going for your previous pick, and then we had me going for Ross's mum. And then, which one did you go for again?
Billy Kay, wrestler.
And you just following your heart, which is the right thing to do. But it was such an entanglement of styles. I thought it was an all-timer. And I just wanted to try and sound clever in this week's one, and I couldn't think of one. We've got to the point. I've done like Mo Sislak when he's like, I've got a hot day tonight. A day. Dinner with him. I couldn't think of anything, right? That's why.
It's like a Game of Thrones. It sounds like Game of Thrones last week. Just all these different strategies going on.
There was deception.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the good Game of Thrones, not the last few seasons.
Yeah.
But this is why I like Jack. This is why people think I'm a dick to Jack. I just asked Jack, look, pretend... I put my podcast hat on. Pretend people haven't seen it this week. Give some exposition. And Jack went, yeah, it was great. And this happened. The different styles coming together. It was like the unbreakable three-way from TNA 2005. It was amazing. And then Jack keeps on going, well, I mean, it was all right, I guess. It wasn't. We've done better ones. And he keeps on going, I couldn't think of anything. All right, lads. I'm like, Jack,
I lose
Jack,
steam.
you could confess to something you didn't do.
Have you heard the song by Flight of the Conchords, the hippopotamus versus the rhinoceros?
So good.
Yeah.
There's a part where Jermaine tries to freestyle and then just absolutely craps the bed. And he goes, sometimes when I freestyle, I lose confidence. I think that's me.
Lovely. But only you can do that, Jack.
Yeah.
So, wow, what a Hall of Fame lineup we have this week. Just to recap then, we have Clouds, no. Nia Jax's Hole. I mean, I think that's going to win. I think it's all going to depend on what happens on Raw. If they're going to carry on doing it, because obviously they censored it on YouTube. Yeah. Presumably because they can't really be having like, buy the cool action figures for kids. Oh, my hole! Bit of a contradiction there, but who knows? ELO's Mr. Blue Sky. Dun, 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 dun. And last week's Hall of Fame segment. So it'll be 2 weeks Hall of Fame segment by the time it comes along. Wow. Those 3 picks are yours and yours only for those who go to patreon.com/Cultaholic and place your bets.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. And Andrew, this is the bit where we look back at the week of wrestling and give our well-opinionated opinions. So we start with SmackDown because canonically that's the first one to come along.
Oh no, what's this? What's he done there?
My wrestling hat on.
Oh no.
I'm ready.
Lovely. Roman Reigns opens the show. He's really annoyed because Edge has been on Raw and NXT, but he knows that Roman is the highest profile option for WrestleMania. Edge doesn't show up. Heyman explains that he isn't here, and Roman says he expects a decision by the end of the night. Ooh. Baron Corbin faces Dominic again. He attacks Dom and Ray during the entrance, but Dom still wins with help from his dad. Aww.
Now. I'm just not certain who this helps, you know? Do we know what the aim of this is? I know that they clearly don't want to have Dom beat Baron clean, but why not? He's beaten Rollins, hasn't he? Or he beat Murphy.
Yeah.
He's done all right.
I wondered if, and I'm not sure, like, I can't remember afterwards or what. Did Dom know that Ray grabbed Baron's legs under the ring?
Ooh.
So I like this. I'm thinking that Dom finds out that, oh wait, I didn't beat him clean. Dad, help me. Dad, you got to stay out of my business. Dad, get out of my room. Dad, all that kind of stuff. And then I want to see some feud between them two. I want to see some, like you said, Jack, on the Twitters, like, let's build up to a Ray and Dom feud. I did. I want that. I want that big time. But that was my thinking, that maybe that might have been like the thing. Because Ray was obviously hidden under there. You couldn't really, Dom from where he was in the ring couldn't really see what Ray was doing. So I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I like it. I hope that is what's happening.
That's it, trying to escape the shadow of Rey Mysterio Jr. Good luck, Dom. Daniel Bryan puts over Cesaro because he's just a great guy. They share a fist bump afterwards. Oh, you mean put over like...
Sorry,
like
he doesn't get on the mic and go, he's class him.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. You're right here.
He actually puts him over in the traditional...
It's pro wrestling lingo.
Taps out to him in the sharpshooter. Wow.
Thanks for putting me over, Brian. No problem, Cesaro. You're a great guy.
Yeah, sometimes people use like putting over to mean talk nicely about, or cut a promo on to mean have a go at. Like, oh, he came backstage fuming and he cut an absolute promo on, like that sort of thing. But no, he physically put him over.
Wonderful. What a nice guy. Ruby Riott faces Bayley, but again, Billie Kay tries to help Ruby win. Liv Morgan stops her this time, but Ruby loses anyway. Womp womp.
Oh, God.
Bianca Belair talks about her choice of opponent for Mania. Reginald interrupts and says that if she challenges Sasha, she'll lose. I'm not sure why she's doing this, possibly to keep Carmella in a title picture.
Yeah, I couldn't work out what Reginald's motive was here.
Carmella comes out and says that she's beaten Sasha before, and she can beat Bianca too. Sasha now interrupts and says that she admires Bianca, but she isn't the best. She isn't the coolest. And that brings out ECW Hardcore Champion Justin Cruz. Sorry. Reginald says that Bianca got lucky in the Royal Rumble, so she spanks him with her hair and he flies out the ring.
Yeah.
What was this segment?
Now, watching this segment felt to me as if I was in the process of learning the English language, but wasn't quite there yet. So I understood little things that were sort of happening and being said, but the reason behind everything, I had no clue what was going on. Was I just confused? Did this make sense to either of you?
No, I watched it and was like, I don't really get it. Because it felt like Reginald wasn't almost, not that he wasn't acknowledging Carmella or anything, but it was like, why are you guys...
He's gone rogue.
Yeah, why are you guys there in the ring? And then even when she like whips Reginald out of the ring, Carmella's still just in there anyway, just being like, that just happened.
Bianca celebrates, whipping her hair back and forth.
Yeah.
And Carmella's just stood there like, well, she's got one over on my friend.
What are you gonna do?
I know, it was a weird segment. I feel like this might have been the sort of segment that was rewritten so much, it lost track of where it first was trying to achieve something. I don't know.
Well, we can relate to that with this podcast, I guess.
Oh, 100%.
And then when she whipped her hair back and forth, were people online going, I've never heard of this song.
Yeah.
Surely Drowning Pool would be a more appropriate choice. Gabe and Otis lose to Ziggler and Rude. It says here, which is sad.
That is sad.
I mean,
I like Gable. I want him to win some matches.
But then, to cheer him up, oh God, I think I skipped a lot of this, because a lot of this SmackDown went, did this happen? To cheer us up, we get a video promo from Hulk Hogan. Hogan reminds us that he and Edge used to be tag partners, and he expects Edge to beat whoever he faces at WrestleMania.
Maffew,
That's right. It was the anniversary of the main event, which I forget if it's still the most watched or had the most eyes on it, was watched by a load of people back in the day.
Maffew,
today.
Can you clear this up? Because it's a bit wishy-washy in my mind, but didn't Hogan hate teaming with Edge?
No, not that I remember.
Right, fair enough. I thought I read
I remembered some juicy gossip like that.
Yeah.
Edge loved it.
Yeah, Edge was a huge Hogan fan. He didn't want Hogan to win at WrestleMania 6 when he infamously went and was seen in the crowd.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he gushes over him in his book about Hogan. Because, as we all know, the weird contradiction, Canadians didn't like Goldberg, Canadians didn't like Ken Shamrock, but Canadians loved Hogan.
Weird, because he's so American.
Right? Real American USA to the Canadians. I mean, anyway.
Do you reckon it's all a ruse? Do you reckon Edge just going around all the world champions being like, I'm coming for you, and then he teams with Hulk Hogan instead and goes for the tag team title?
Street Profit? No, they're not even the tag champs. Rude and Ziggler? We're coming for you.
We're coming.
You know what, Andrew, that would be a good idea. Apart from remembering the last WrestleMania, Hogan went for the tag titles. Ended up with Hogan coming out at the very end.
Yes.
Edge is there with salt in his eyes, and he's like, get him, Hogan! So, no, it's a horrible idea. Why would you say that? Big E retains his IC title in an exciting triple threat match against Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn. Match of the night, no question, but part of me did think, it being a three-way, damn it, is now the time for him to lose via not losing the title and then go up the card. But I think that's just wishful thinking of Big E at this stage.
Have they forgotten, or are they just waiting to push him?
I don't want to wait.
Crews was mint in this match, though.
He was
good in this match.
Yeah, he reminds us all that with Crews, I find him a bit weird, because if he came out for a match and they called him U-Ha Nation, I'd be like, here comes a 5-star match, lad. But because it's called Apollo Crews, even though it's the same man, I'm like, yeah, well.
Right, I'm not saying it's a cheap gimmick and a weird name change, but if your entrance music starts with your name being yelled so people know who you are, because they're not popping for the music, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
And also because when he was U-Ha Nation, right? Especially when he was U-Ha Nation, it meant they played Genghis Khan by Genghis Khan. It's like, ooh, ha, ooh, oh, whatever.
Right, that rule is fantastic. That if your name needs to be shouted at the start,
yeah. Like, nothing, no pop whatsoever. It's Jack the Jobber.
Mine just started with music. It was very sad. It just started with whoa, whoa, oh. Brilliant.
Did you sing it yourself, though?
Yeah, it's one of those like Big Show. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't sing it myself.
It's like they call me Sonic. It's like they call me Jobber. Travel at the speed of sound, and I like to play soccer. Edge finally arrives and is about to make his WrestleMania choice, but Roman interrupts. He demands to be respected and chosen as the main event of WrestleMania. Before Edge can reply, Roman is ambushed by Kevin Owens, who hits him with a stunner. Because you know what? After losing to him 4 times, he's this close to beating Roman.
You'll get it next time.
Yeah, come on, Gadget, next time. So, yeah, more intrigue here. SmackDown thinks they're the best show that WWE puts out on a weekly basis, but this one's...
Yeah.
Next week will be better. It's all right.
Usually, yeah.
Monday Night Raw.
Here we go. It's my favourite
Go on,
part.
lads. Go on, Andrew.
I love Raw.
Get the coat excited.
Get the coat excited.
Yeah.
I'll take it off for this one.
Oh, yes.
Because it's getting hot. It's getting hot. I've got my arm stuck. Shit. I can't get out. There we go. He's done it.
The guns are so big, right?
It's ready. Yeah, that's the reason.
Kalashnikovs.
Get
got
off.
attached to him.
I've done it.
It's bugger when you go through metal detectors. Adam Pearce opens the show and welcomes Shane McMahon. Of course, he's waited for Ross to take a week off.
Yep.
He announces the elimination...
I saw someone on Twitter suggesting that Ross and Shane are the same man. Because Ross goes away.
And then he
Shane's
comes
back
out.
on
Oh, they're
Raw.
never seen the same place. My
Yeah.
What
God.
a bad shout.
And during that Falls Count Anywhere match with The Miz at Mania, Ross went to the toilet for the whole match. No, he didn't.
He got a mysterious call, looked really worried, and then decided to go. He announces the Elimination Chamber main event. Just like that. No qualifying matches, no nothing. It's Drew versus Sheamus versus AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus The Miz versus Jeff Hardy. And then he leaves. As he's leaving, Shane stopped by Drew, who was disappointed. He wanted a one-on-one match with Sheamus. Shane says that will happen, but this will test his toughness as champion first. And then he went, money, 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 and he walked off.
It's like an anime plot.
Yeah. And he went,
You'll get that big battle, but first, it's the tournament arc.
right, defeat my 6 henchmen who are numbered in order of toughness. And then he went, hey, look, that's Omos. He used to be the guy I touch every week on Raw Underground.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Big guy! Easy money. So yeah, this is Elimination Chamber, just getting dropped on the laps like that. Okay, great. And as people point out, nearly everybody on that roster, they could have actually done this match properly sometime around late 2009, early 2010.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wow.
It's okay.
They
Cool.
need some new stars.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're even doing Elimination Chamber this time of year.
yeah,
I
same.
thought for a while they stopped doing it. I thought it was very sensible, but I'm going, let's just do it anyway. I'm like, all right.
Are we now getting to the stage where, because obviously for about 10 years we've been saying they need some new stars, and now that decade's passed, are we now getting to like the crunch point where we really do now the results are starting to be felt?
I think we said that for about 5 years now.
Maybe we have as well. The Shield kind of put it off for a little bit, but
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. It's like, oh yeah, remember when Shield had that awesome segment feud with Evolution, and then that was the passing of the torch. And a few years later, Triple H beat Roman Reigns for the title.
oh, you want to rumble for the title?
Nah, yeah. Don't make me look bad with fact. AJ Styles is pleased with Pearce, probably because he's in a title match. He celebrates this by beating Jeff Hardy in a singles match.
Yeah.
I've not really got anything to add.
No.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Kofi makes his in-ring return after that broken jaw, teaming with Woods to somehow, some way, defy the odds and beat Slapjack and T-Bar. Ali is furious at ringside. And you know what? I've realised that I'm all right with Retribution. Now that I've realised that all they are the numbered henchmen building up to Kofi versus Ali.
Ali's fantastic, and I just wish he had more to do.
Hopefully this leads to him doing more, though. Like, I think this match with Kofi is going to be really good when it does happen. Because those two go hard, don't they? And this has been building up. I like that this has been... We were saying on the news before, Jack, that this has been, like, made out of a real-life situation type thing that's happened. And that's always good in storylines. I like it when that happens. And they'll go hard. Kofi looked well happy when he did that. He, like, did that trust fall thing back onto Retribution, and he was smiling his head off. He's ready for it.
As he did it.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I have something in my throat. Sorry.
Andrew, how you been? He's all right.
Yeah,
he's fine.
I'm good. Is he alive? Is it?
I'm all right. No, I just didn't want to I'm gonna cough. Sorry.
I'll
do this bit. Lacey Evans and Ric Flair deny that anything saucy is going on between them. Rick says he doesn't take orders from any woman we know, and he's training Lacey because she has what it takes to be the best. Enter Charlotte, who says that if Lacey wants to improve, she should have just gone back to the Performance Center. Lacey offers to be tag partners, and Charlotte says no. Lacey then says they have a match, and if she wins, she becomes Asuka's #1 contender. Lacey does win, because Charlotte stomps her in the corner too much and gets DQ'd. Brilliant. Talk amongst yourselves.
Charlotte is the worst tag team part. Charlotte is the worst.
Sorry, I can see me on camera and everything.
Charlotte is the worst tag team partner ever. First she goes, I'm not teaming with you. I'm in a team with my good friend Asuka. And then Lacey's like, let's have a match where if I win, I'll be #1 contender. And Charlotte just gets DQ'd and gives Asuka more to do.
Yeah.
I mean, Asuka would relish the chance because she's a noble babyface to defend her title, but Lacey's obviously going to win this match, 100%.
Yeah. I think so as well. It was such a weird segment in general. And then Rick seemed like he was so excited. I'm glad someone else wrote the notes for what Rick said, because when Rick went off, I was like, what? What's he said? He's just so excited. He's like a little child that's just come out, like had 5 cans of Monster, and he's just like, woo! Like, what, pal? What's going on here? Like, I had no idea what he said at all.
Right, that Macchiato kicks in and suddenly it's 83. He's at the mothership and he's just cutting promos on Tully Blanchard or whatever. These segments are so poorly written, so poorly acted, and just so poorly executed. It's amazing to me. Because you're like going, how do we interpret this David Lynch style work? What's the metaphor behind the segment? Because I guess we're supposed to cheer Charlotte over Lacey Evans trying to shag her dad. I'm like, all right, I guess. But then Charlotte comes out, ear to ear grin, like, oh, you too. And she just looks like a rotten individual. The way Charlotte, she talks, the way she acts. And I'm like, you're a horrible good person. I don't like you.
I hope that she's been told to do that, because Charlotte often, when she got eliminated from the Rumble, she just smiled. And I hope it's not her trying to protect her spot. Like, nothing bothers me. I'm Charlotte Flair. And I don't want that. I guess that at all.
With the way that match finished, maybe that is how that's coming across, because she didn't get pinned or anything, did she? She just got DQ'd. And that's like, oh, what? I mean, Lacey could have just got a clean pin. Why not? Like, it's not going to hurt Charlotte, is it? If she does, really? I don't know.
Yeah.
I realised it wasn't this segment. It was that weird one on SmackDown with Sasha and Reginald and everybody. With the fake crowd noises in and the kind of awkward delivery a lot of the time of just scripted lines. Sounds like a 2K game in a cutscene. Really does. And then they suddenly switch to boo it. Yeah. And because Carmella wasn't shouting, because they're talking at a more normal volume because there's no one in the building, it's so like the cutscenes from like, what are you talking about, Sasha? I was like, oh my God.
Wait a minute, Jack, can you just pretend to be Charlotte Flair for a second? Just start talking.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, why am I doing a sound check?
No, just yeah, no, just.
I don't care.
Flair, and I'm going to challenge you,
about you, Lacey Evans. You're trying to get my God. It's not really worked because the mic's cut out.
Yeah, it's just got a noise gate on it, so we can't hear anything.
Sorry, that may be a bit too loud.
It just cut off. It just said no. Yeah, we're not having that on. Zoom was like, no, none of that.
Oh, try again.
Charlotte Flair is my name, and I'm the best. No, it's not me.
Oh, whatever.
It's just like WWE technical issues.
Sorry. That was much better in my head.
It was all right, though.
I enjoyed that.
I liked it on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll edit it and we'll just go, wow, what a resounding success that was. It was nice seeing Rick on TV saying stuff, because he's been an inanimate object the last few times I've seen him on the last few weeks, and he's come out and he's doing his promos, and he does look like his head's going to explode. Like that one dude in Big Trouble in Little China. But it was nice for him to go, look, I don't care. You know, oh, Lacey Evans, I'll let you shag me, Dad. Lacey Evans. Anyway, moving on from this amazing segment. Edge explains that he's going to make his decision after Elimination Chamber. Oh, you cheeky get. because he has no idea who the WWE champion is. Oh, sorry, who will be until then.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edge doesn't watch TV. Come on. Miz arrives with Morrison and Angel Garza. Apparently he's with them now.
Did I
And
miss
says
something there?
He's going to cash in on the winner at WrestleMania. No, I don't think you're missing out on stuff. I
They
think
just-
they've been
they've
waiting
just
to do stuff
shoved
with Angel
the- yeah.
Garza since,
Right.
since that amazing feud with Andrade just kind of...
Yeah.
Anyway. Garza then faces Damian... Oh, no, they were involved in Selena Vega, weren't they? I think they were just waiting for that situation to evaporate. Maybe,
Can we
I'm
not-
speculating.
Did I miss any sort of video, perhaps, where they bumped into Angel Garza? They were like, "You can be our friend now." No,
No, I did grade it, and he was just there. Like, I don't think so. At least, anyway, I could be wrong.
This puts me
but-
on edge because obviously, if we make a mistake, someone in the comments will go, "No, that's wrong."
That's wrong.
And,
No,
and
I'll take
something-
it. No, I said it. Bring it.
But when something like this
Take it.
happens, I'm like, I'm sure I haven't made a mistake, but it really seems like I have made a mistake because this makes no sense.
Scrap the podcast. We've done already. I can't bear the comments. Just scrap it. Scrap the podcast. It's finished. We're finished. Cut here. Done.
How about his wrestling was like, I don't know. I watch it every week, but I'm still not sure if I'm right.
Yeah.
Garza then faces Damian Priest and gets beaten after more shenanigans between Miz and Bad Bunny on the outside. Someone said Bad Bunny's made more appearances on TV this year than Goldberg. So well done, Bad Bunny, working hard. Keith Lee tells Riddle it's time for someone new to challenge Bobby Lashley. Riddle talks about Air Bud. It's not very funny. I think I tweeted about this and just said, look, Riddle makes me hate stoners. And I used to be good friends with someone who would willingly drink bong water and eat pennies. And people in the comments are like, what do you mean? How do you hang out with these people? I was like, I'm from Bishop Auckland. It's a very close friend of mine. But yeah, people still write stoners like the Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
60 years ago now. Or it feels like that. You know, people like stoners aren't this annoying in real life.
You know what? They've written stoners like how other media writes wrestling.
Yes.
If it's like the wrestling episode of something, it's always like a Randy Savage going, "Oh." That's what Vince has
Completely
done. That.
roid up dude going, "Arr!"
Yeah, and Vince has done that with stoners in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
I feel very clever. I feel very clever.
Someone's like, yeah, Riddle's been eating those marijuana pills.
Yeah.
Keith then beats Riddle to stake a claim to the US title, but Lashley attacks him afterwards and destroys him.
Yes, Bob.
Big old slam.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bob.
Big Bob.
Go on,
Big
Bob.
Bob. And MVP's been on commentary going, whoa, I mean, I've been helping Lashley and everything, but I never told him to do that. And all this stuff, like, he's too brutal. It's like, he just wants to destroy people now. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a good look for Bobby.
Yeah.
Lana beats Nia Jax in a tables match. Who cares about the finish of the tables? Nia hurts her hole. You may have seen this, unless you've been living in a cave, whatever.
Oh, the finish came right after the whole spot, to be fair.
The whole
Yeah.
She was selling the hole, and then she got shoved into a table.
Think she called it?
It's a good way to end that segment, I think. Like, how else was Lana gonna get her through the table? Like,
But-
wait until she hurts her hole and then go for the kill.
I love the finish, obviously, from hole onwards. Brilliant, 5 stars. But they really have amped up how pathetic they want Lana to look. Do you notice in this match, like, she was cowering constantly. She was like, no! And I was like, oh, do some stuff.
Oh, well, it's weird as well because like this whole thing is like her trying to get over these bullies and everything, but then she's still made out to be like a super weak.
There should be
Character.
some growth. Yeah, there should
Yeah.
be some growth.
But and there's none of that. There's none of that at all, which is weird.
Well, she's a blonde woman.
Yeah.
Right, Andrew, like, okay, you can suck for in Lana's case, months on end against this feud, but then it's like, oh, then she's getting better and better, and every week she gets stronger, and it's the Rocky montage. It's fantastic. She's going up mountains and pulling sleds and all the rest. Fantastic. Instead, she's winning matches, and she still sucks.
Yeah.
Did you deliberately choose the one in Russia?
Yes. One, because that's how the weather
pulling
is
Miro.
outside, and
Yeah.
two, oh wait, man, Rocky 4.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous film.
I put that in for the Hall of Fame next week.
Do you know when the American trainer beats the Russian trainer at chess, and it's a metaphor, and he goes, "Checkmate, friend." Oh,
I've never. Can I put this out there?
Don't
I've
say
never
that,
seen
Andrew.
Rocky-
No,
I've never seen a
no.
Come
Rocky.
on, Andrew.
Never seen one Rocky film ever.
right.
Ever.
I've not seen a lot of classic films. I caused a bit of a ruckus when I said I'd never seen
Oh,
Goodfellas.
thank you, Jack, for bringing this up.
but
Go
I've
on,
read
Andrew,
the-
have you ever done this? If there's
What?
a film you wanted to watch, and it wasn't an obscure classic, like, I don't know, a Fellini film or something, it's on Amazon Prime and Netflix, it's easy to watch, would you look at it and go, hey, it's a bit long and a bit busy, sod it, I'll watch a YouTube video explaining it to me?
I've never. So what I usually do, right? If I want to watch a horror film, I'm awful with like horror films and stuff, right? Okay. And if I really want to watch a horror film, I'll be like, I'll just read plot on Wikipedia. So I kind of do stuff like that. I can't
Yes.
deny it. I
Join
can't
the
deny
dark
it.
side.
Right.
Let it flow through you. The plot synopsis.
No, our Jack, objection, Your Honour. That's because he doesn't like horror films. We want to know about it. This
Yeah.
was
Oh, that's
this
a
was
good
the
point.
obscure classic, Andrew. It's very hard to get. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe Martin
Correct.
Scorsese's Goodfellas.
Whoa! What?
No, look, I regret that because when I was watching that YouTube summary, I was like, oh, this looks really good, actually. Anyway,
Have you ever? So apart from horror films, you ever done that with like a non-horror film, for example?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay,
so.
good.
I've done it with horror films because I find the genre a bit boring. I know there's big horror fans out there. I'm not trying to say it's just not for me. But I've done that with horror films. The problem is I've also done it with like ones that I probably would actually enjoy.
Well,
But I have seen Rockies 1 to 5 though. I've never seen the new ones, but I've seen 1 to 5, and 4 is just like, to try and explain it, it's where it jumped the shark, but in a kind of beloved way.
He jumped the
I think
shark.
he
That sounds
didn't-
good.
But he did things similar to jumping a shark.
Bless you.
My favourite's 1. 1's genuinely
Oh,
a
yeah.
great film. Brilliant film. It won an Oscar, I think, for Best Picture.
Yeah, it'd be a Taxi Driver for Best Picture, which
Did it?
people are furious over. I went, nah, Rocky 1's
Rocky's
really good.
brilliant. I mean, it's one of the few films that kind of, like, every time I watch it, almost cry at the end. Almost. It's there. Yeah. Because when she's running to the ring and, oh my God.
Yeah.
And he just goes, he's been through this war, and then he just goes, where's your hat? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. He's so good in it.
He's so good
The
in
best acting Stallone's ever done.
Oh, yeah, God. Yeah. Wasn't it his first thing? Like, he was kind of a nobody, and then he wrote and was in Rocky.
Pretty much.
He
Wow.
wrote
Not
Rocky as
pornos,
well.
He wrote it as well, I think.
No way, I didn't know that. That's
It got
cool.
it got edited a lot. The original script was far darker and I think had a sad ending, but they rewrote it and made it just brilliant. Yeah. Oh, Rocky 1.
Yeah, because I spoke to my dad like, oh, what's the Rocky film? But I looked like, Rocky? Oh, he kind of act. I went, no. Rocky 1. Rocky 1 is a proper film. Rocky 2 is just Rocky 1 if he wins.
Yeah.
Rocky 3 is about being the successful champion and no one likes you when you're on
Rocky
the top.
3's
And then
cool.
Mr. T and all the and Hogan.
Rocky 3 got us all of our jobs. We wouldn't be working in the wrestling industry if it wasn't for
yeah.
Rocky 3, Mr. T. We owe a lot to Sylvester Stallone.
Right? And thought of it like that. God, you're right. And then Rocky 4 is basically the greatest musical of all time. And then Rocky 5 doesn't exist.
No.
Rocky 6, I don't think much of. And then Creed. Oh,
Is it good?
Creed 1 was good. Creed 2, I went to the cinema to see it and I cried.
Is that the one with Bellew? Is that Creed 1?
No, it's Creed
Scouts.
1. I think.
Creed,
then.
right, okay.
Oh, I cried. Such emotional. Can't remember anything about it. No, he fights Drago's son in Creed
Oh,
2.
right. God, we've had a bit of a Rocky interlude there, sorry.
So, yeah, I was going to say, if you haven't watched any of them, if you want to see a proper film, like the type of film that Jack would watch a YouTube summary of, watch Rocky 1. If you want to see just a film that's going to go, yeah, the 80s, Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please let us know your Rocky thoughts in the
I
comments.
will. Well, I'll let you know mine, Maffew. I'll send you a message afterwards once I've watched it.
Oh, please do. You won't.
I will.
So-
But no, the thing is about Andrew, he actually will.
Watch me.
Yeah, he will.
Oh, okay.
Coming for you.
There was one time. No, that's a rubbish story. Yeah.
What? No, go on.
Now you've said that.
Yeah, no, you said it.
Tell us your rubbish story.
There's a mate of mine who sometimes just I've never met someone more committed to a bit. Like if there's a bit going on in the friendship group, he'll stay with the bit till the bitter end. Ironically,
Bitter
and they were on a night out once. I wasn't on it, but I heard back that apparently he was asking my other mate, like, what do you want from? I'm getting them in. What do you want behind the bar? What do you want? What do you want? But he was busy talking to a girl, and he didn't want. He was like, oh, just go away. And he was like, no, what do you want? And he just went to get him to shut up. He went. There was like a fruit display, and he went, I'll have that pineapple. And he went, all right. And he bought it for like 30 quid. Because he went, how much is that pineapple? They were like, it's not for sale. And he was like, I'll pay like whatever. And he dropped like 30 quid on it and just gave it to my mate.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Commitment right there.
Yeah. He once ran like Naruto across a festival and I was like, what are you doing? Why don't you just run over to us normally? And he went, makes you go faster. I was like, oh.
It's like in the Matrix. If you run like that, you go faster as well.
Yeah.
You can slow down time.
God, sorry, that was such a tangent.
No, but I'm glad that you said, look, do you want to hear a rubbish story? I'm like, oh, absolutely, yeah, of course. We all want to hear a rubbish story. Anyway, Sheamus interferes in the main event between Drew and Orton, but Drew dodges the bro kick and Orton gets taken out instead. Womp womp. Yeah. Drew hits the Claymore on Sheamus to end the show. That was Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, not the most offensive Raw, but not a brilliant one either. At least there was no spookiness this time.
I was going to say, that was practically a normal Raw compared to AEW Dynamite.
Like the fuse.
Darby...
Bang. That was Dynamite going.
Oh, good.
Good. How weird does that sound? Yeah.
Darby Allin retains the TNT title against Joey Janela. Joey looking pretty all right. Probably the best match he's had in a non-hardcore wacky match in some time. Later in the night, Darby Allin is kidnapped by Team Taz. And before Sting can get one word out, he is zipped into a body bag and dragged across the car park. Sting goes out to run and summon snow or whatever's going to fix him.
And to slow the car down.
Yeah.
That would actually be good. No, wait, that's black ice. Stop the car.
But it takes like several minutes. He's like waiting for a long time.
And they had to plane over it and go into a ditch.
It was very...
He's just Storm from X-Men now.
Yeah, it was very NWO behaviour from Team Taz there. They do stuff like that, don't they? They did.
Those naughty boys.
Oh. So Sting's obviously fuming because he hates them.
But then I like that it's scheduled for next week, though, that he's going to say something. Sorry, like it's scheduled, right? It's scheduled for next week. It's happening. Not straight away. He's going to wait a week whilst his friend's getting dragged along the M49 or whatever it is. Like,
I feel like he's
all the way to the Scotch Corner.
I feel like Sting's... Like, they treat him like he's about 30 years older than he actually is, and Tony's like his caterer, because he can't do anything without Tony. It's weird.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Darby, Tony, can you go get him? Tony, what's the number for 911? But yeah, you're right. It's like watching Raw. Oh my God, this is stupid. The way the emphasis they put on Edge, like he's some sort of like mega legend. Everyone has to bow to him, and he has his every word. And you switch AEW Dynamite, it's like Sting's gonna say something. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, Sami confronts MJF backstage. MJF tries to trick Sami into admitting that he wants to overthrow Jericho. Sami doesn't actually want to, but realizes MJF is recording with his phone. So he throws it across the wall, hits MJF in the gut, and leaves. I would have liked that bit a bit better if Sami hadn't gone, hey, are you recording, cameraman, who I'm talking to? All right, cool. Are you recording me, MJF? Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, later MJF and Jericho face the Acclaimed, and MJF hams up a rib injury from the attack. The Inner Circle win the match, but Sami comes out afterwards and quits. He has to think about it, and he walks out the right-hand tunnel, signifying that he is in fact a good guy.
Oh my God.
And then he continues and leaves the arena, and leaves via the right-hand metal detector. That's right.
He did.
The good guy detector.
He did. And Marvez was on the scene as per bloody usual. What a pro.
It is amazing how you'll just magically... It's one of those games where... What was that dodgy PC game where Sherlock Holmes and I think Watson, where they hadn't got it quite figured out. But if you like turned your head and went back, Watson would be right in front of you. And if you like ran up the stairs and turned around, it'd be immediately behind you.
I just feel like we've gone from thinking, why is this guy, he can't really string a sentence together, to absolutely loving him now, because they've embraced his awkwardness. And his crowning moment was when Omega and Callis were making their great escape with the belt, and he just pops out with perfect timing from behind the production truck. That was such a good moment.
My time to shine. He's just laying in wait, just ready.
But there's an innocence about him. It's not about him. He just wants the news. He just wants to do his job well. There's more of him later on. Don't worry about that.
Oh, good. Lee Johnson gets his first win as a member of the Nightmare family that just signed him, teaming with Cody to beat Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. I didn't get that name right. That sounded bad. Yeah, he did a really cool flip to the outside, which I forgot. I think he did with the Ben Carter match a few months ago. And then he went, oh, wow, I'm so happy I won. So great. I'd thank Cody, Dustin, even Brandy, Arn Anderson. That's all of them. Thank you very much. In QT Marshall's like,
he's right over his shoulder as well. If that sets up QT versus Lee Johnson, then I applaud AEW, but I don't think it will.
I think it's the best thing QT's done in months.
Yeah.
Like he's just lost at Smash Bros. Matt Hardy takes Hangman to a private bar and gets him drunk before getting to sign a contract to join Matt's group. Hangman is only pretending to be drunk though, and secretly switches out the contract for one of his own, which Matt unwittingly signs.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Hangman is my favourite wrestler at the minute. I absolutely love him. I love that he's not stupid, because I was expecting this segment when he brought the contract out and Hangman was drunk, I was like, oh, here we go. But then they switched it round on me. And to be honest, I like that the moral is that if you can drink a lot without getting drunk, then you're a bit of a legend, actually. Because Hangman just snaps back into being sober when Matt's gone. He's like, Barman, I'll have another one, please.
Oh. Barman, I'll have that pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. I'm assuming, what do we think's on the contract? A match between Hangman and Matt?
Yeah. I guess. I don't really watch AEW like week to week. I know that they had a tag match last week or something, right, as well.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, maybe some sort of match between them. What's the deal with what's going to happen with him and Dark Order then? Like,
oh yeah, because he bumped
into them and it was awkward. Like, oh,
he bumped into his 7 exes all in a row, and they were all like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Beat them all, and there's this cool chiptune music soundtrack goes through all the X's.
I'm going to make a little prediction as to what I think might happen.
Go on.
When we finally get the big Hangman and Kenny Omega title match, should it happen, and hopefully it does, I think there'll be some sort of moment where John Silver comes out and just like batters like Gallows and Anderson or someone, like he nullifies like the threat, and then he doesn't touch Omega, but I think he'll be like the little hero, like Kurt Angle in the winner takes all Survivor Series match, and he'll just get crowd surfed away as he's like, and I just think that would be absolutely perfect if that was to happen. But I'm putting it in there now. I want it.
He's done it.
Yeah.
John Silver's good, isn't he? I like John
brilliant.
Silver a lot. He's so good.
Likewise. I want them to wrap up all the loose ends, because there's like, yeah, Matt Hardy, you're a legend, whatever. I don't care. I just want to know about the Dark Order stuff, because it's great. I think Matt Hardy will be like, "Mwahaha, my finished plan," and actually it's just written like a lifetime contract that he has to join the Dark Order. And so the Dark Order are like, new friend, replacement Adam, yay! And then he's like, no, and he's like, carried away.
And then there's like the skits of them trying to have fun with him, and he's just not involved. Yeah.
He's there wearing a mask. He's like, it's like, yeah, that's right. Pack, squish. That's what it says here. Squish, squashes. Ryan Nemeth.
Couldn't think of anything
Ryan
to say.
Nemeth, God, did you remind me of anybody?
Billy Gunn.
Yes.
Billy Gunn, that's what I was going to say. Billy Gunn, yeah. It's the hair dye, isn't it? And the tan and the exact same tights as Billy Gunn.
Pants.
That's right. I don't get it. Don't get it.
Well, I mean, he can work. He can do the bumps.
Yeah,
know?
I guess. Yeah.
He can flop around as is the family tradition.
The Billy Gunn family tradition, that's right.
The Gunn family tradition, yeah.
Oh, another one. God, I think Billy Gunn's a breeder at this point. Oh, Thunder Rosa beats Layla Hirsch in the first round of the epic women's tournament they've got going on, and this was mint with 2 for 2 last 2 weeks for having actually good, proper women's wrestling matches on. Because previously it's been a case of, what time is it? Stick a women's match on, I guess. And they've been thought of an afterthought. The last few weeks, it looks like we're going to get more and more as we go along. They've really been bigging up the quality of the women's action, so
they have.
Finally.
I feel like my problem was never so much with the quality of the women's matches, because they did let them, more often than I think we think, have good matches. But for me, it's more like, just because there's one women's division doesn't mean there has to be one storyline going on at the same time. I'd like it to be a bit more explored. That sounds so wanky. I'd like him to explore that a bit more. But
No, you are right though, chap. Before
but hopefully,
you
as you
destroy
say,
your
though,
own point that you've wonderfully made,
but
so do me a
it's
favour.
classic, yeah.
Right
but
now
I was
it's
going to say,
been-
hopefully, you're right though. This tournament could well be the thing that. Sorry, I was just saying that I agree with you though. Hopefully, this tournament is the right thing to kind of make it a bit more all-encompassing.
Well done, because right now it has been, starring the Young Bucks, Cody, Kenny, and it just says on the poster, and a women's match. Kenny Omega and Kenta beat Moxley and Archer in a wild Falls Count Anywhere main event with the help of Gallows and Anderson. God, what wasn't in this match?
Yeah,
We had bins, we had lids, we had taties.
he potatoed him with a potato.
He did.
Potato.
Spud City. Murked him. He just took him to Spud City.
That's right. Potato Club shirt now available on AEWshop.com.
Kenda had to go to sleep on Peter Avalon just because he was there.
Why not? Yeah.
well,
I thought he was going to do it onto his little bed thing and then
Yeah.
put him through, but then Archer chucked. Was it Kenta through it? Did
it
he
was
chuck
Omega.
Kenta? Omega,
I
yes,
think.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Omega landed on that, and I thought that looks really safe and comfortable. And Kenny's like, me fractured back after that ladder bump, bloody hell. So I think they wrote down, I will bump on a bed and then I'll just lay there for a bit. And he's like, oh.
It was weird because it just looked like pallets with a bit of cloth thrown over the top of it. So why was Peter Avalon just sat on that?
Kayfabe.
Okay,
In kayfabe, that was a bed.
We had Jake Roberts getting involved as well.
yeah.
Oh, he hit a single arm. I'm like, oh my God, are we going to see a DDT? And you're like, of course not. That requires you to fall backwards. So
I reckon he might do one at Revolution.
Ooh, are we building up to that?
I reckon maybe.
Yeah.
He's been getting involved a little bit more in the past couple of weeks.
Is he gonna?
Well, he
pull
fell
out
over
the snake?
on Helico last week, so I guess.
he proper decked on Helico. Then Omega was going to hit him with the V-trigger, but Moxley saved him. But Archer got pinned in the end. The heels won. Oh,
Sad times.
I forgot to mention the other Marvez bit from earlier on in the show on the golf course.
Oh, that's so good.
Omega's just lining up a little chip shot, and then Marvez, with no social awareness, can I just have an interview with you? He's so brilliant.
He's so great. I like that. Yeah, this is the perfect role for him. Having him as a proper official announcer, commentator was not a good look. Him just showing up with a suit, asking people questions like he's Kermit the Frog on Sesame Street. Perfect. NXT, a show I haven't seen. MSK beat Santos Escobar's boys to reach the final of the Dusty Classic. It says here, you're going to do it? Go on.
Go on, lad. You got to twist your fingers.
I've got very inflexible hands. I'd
do it.
be a rubbish gang member.
Yes, there we go. Thanks, lads.
Yeah, they're through to the final now.
Yeah, good match.
They might win the whole thing on debut, on their first few
reckon?
appearances. I don't know yet, and I'm shooting my predictions after this, so I should probably decide. Actually,
Yeah,
what do you think?
it was a good match.
Do you think they will?
I think Grizzled Young Veterans will,
Maffew?
personally.
I just want to see Jack go. I like the Rascals. It would be nice. And I
Yeah.
still appreciate I'm going to do a moonsault now. All right, cool. I'll push you.
Oh, that was cool. I like that.
Push them sideways. It's crazy.
There was he stepped off, or was that Mendoza? I think someone stepped off someone and did a 450 as well, and it was amazing. It looked well cool.
Good match. Start the
Good
show.
match.
Good times. Desire Lee easily beats Cora Jade and continues the attack afterwards. Casey and Caden try to reason with her. Caden goes up the ramp and shouts at Zaya's spooky throne lady.
I don't know her
Zaya
name.
beats both her and Casey up. The spooky lady chokes out Boa just because.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
But it wasn't like a choke. It was like she grabbed him like that, but then he kind of pretended he was choking. It was weird.
It was like
Well, like your
Cena's
grandma
STM.
when you're like 6. Oh,
Yeah, how you doing?
good.
And then just squashing your cheeks all the time.
Yeah.
And then grandma just drags you around and
Yeah.
throws you to the side.
How are you? I'm like, I was doing great until then.
I googled the spooky throne lady's name, but I can't remember it now. I think it's May something.
Let's have a look.
They've trademarked it, I think.
It was like the thing that happened last week with the animation stuff. Like detailing her background and everything was really cool.
Oh, I missed all of that. I didn't put that in the
It
notes.
was good.
What was
good,
it?
Jack. Go on.
We've missed.
If
we've
I
missed a
watch
key
Rocky,
step.
if I watch Rocky 4, you've got to watch that.
Oh, I don't want to watch it. Can you just tell us what happened, please?
She fought a dragon back in day. She's like an ancient being. This is like the backstory, right? She's like an ancient being from like 1,000 years ago, and it was her and a brother. And a brother slayed their dad, who was this king. So then the brother could get all the power, and then the brother went on a massive tyranny. He's a naughty boy. So then what was it? She gets exiled from the family, so she goes to find this ancient dragon, and she says, "Mr. Dragon, can I have some power, please, so I can slay my brother?" And Dragon's like, go on then, lass, I give you some power, for your soul, but in exchange for your soul. And she's like, go on then, might as well, eh? So she does that. Dragon gives her all this power. She kills her brother, and then she turns into the thing she hated the most. Whoa! And that's it. She's apparently 1,000 years old.
This all happened last week.
Yeah, it was in an animation. They didn't bring a dragon into the arena or anything.
I feel like I really should have put that in the notes. It sounds quite important.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
That sounds pretty crucial, actually.
So now you got exposition. There you go.
So basically, right, Rocky's got a match in Russia because no.
And there's a dragon, in Russia.
In a way, if the dragon is communism, then yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he goes, "Oh, can I have some of me power for me lass?" And he goes, "I must break you."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just break you.
so that's all happening in NXT. And
It's good.
I haven't seen this. I get the reference. I'm interested why Jack's put it. Today.
It's meant to be a song, and I've forgotten which song I've done it to. Oh no!
Today is the
Day.
Is it?
Take that. It's take that.
I thought it was the Lou Gehringer speech. Today, I feel like the greatest. Sorry. Today
it's a speech in a way from
the greatest way of our lives. Before it all ends, before we run out of time, way close to me. Watch the world.
To me. No, the joke hasn't.
What? Yeah. Sorry. What period of Take That is this?
Like crap later. Take that.
Oh.
It was one of their comeback ones.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't recognize it.
That's all right.
It goes, stay now, baby. Joey Gargano's faking an injury. To get out of his title match with Kushida. Regal isn't buying it, but plays along and inserts Austin Theory into the match. In his place, but with the title still on the line. Suddenly, Kushida is in the ring with The Way and knocks Johnny out of his wheelchair. That's very nice.
Kushida also did a little bless you.
Whoa.
Kushida also did a little trick where he went to grab Johnny's belt and his hand was all right all along. And he went,
damn it.
Rats.
There was a good bit where Regal comes out and he's saying, you'll have to forfeit the belt and everything because if you've got a broken arm, you can't defend it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'll have to ask Kushida. But Kushida's already there. He's in the ring. He's like in the back. And then Austin Theory's like slapping him like, who's this guy? And then he realizes it's Kushida, the Japes. And then he powers him just like that.
It was like something that would happen in it's like something that like a wisecracking super like Spider-Man would do or something, pretending to Deadpool. It was very Deadpool.
Yeah.
Very Deadpool.
I know we've gone from 1,000-year-old dragon beastie stuff to what sounds like a mid-90s sitcom.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
As you can see, I'm completely injured. Here's Shake. Okay. Oh no, my pretend injured arm. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. But the Attitude Era had various different... You had a Dark Ministry running around and you had, Christian pretending he was sick so he didn't have to defend the... I suppose
that's true. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Triple H getting bit by a snake.
Yeah.
His entire face, look what you did to me, Austin. I'm disfigured. Austin coming out going, I don't care if you're disfigured. Psych, I tricked you. It's makeup. I don't care. Good. I hope your face falls off, you creep. Kushida versus Theory is actually taking place right now. Gargano runs in to attack Kushida. Hey, he's not get his DVLA with her. DVLA, you stupid get. Sorry, what's the money you get if you're hurt or injured?
DVLA.
I've blown this. Let's move on. Gargano runs in to attack Kushida and gets the match thrown out. As he gets beat down, As they beat down Kushida, Theory is pulled under the ring. Gargano goes after him and instead finds Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, so he reaches
What has
under
happened
the
to
ring.
NXT? The way run all over the place like very scared little boys and eventually get put in stereo submissions by Kushida. And
Right.
all right, go on then.
Theory gets pulled under the ring by an unseen, like in a horror, like by an unseen thing. Gargano's like, where's he gone? Goes under to get him, and what he pulls out instead of Theory is Dexter Lumis. He's been under the ring the whole time. Then it all leads to a bit of a segment where the faces are like trying to get them, and eventually they put them into stereo submissions. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Stereo weirdness, fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't even find the thing I was trying to reference earlier. Cameron Grimes arrives in a fancy car, throwing money all over the place. Oh, he's invested in GameStop and is now rich.
Yeah.
This is probably a good development.
This can only lead to classic hijinks.
So good.
Yeah.
He's like the perfect person for it as well.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Oh, good for him.
He like tells Regal something. He's like, it's all about the money, Regal, or something like that. It's good. He makes a snow angel in all the dollar bills.
You know, this would have been all right. Did they have a segment where he explained how it works? Because that would have been worthwhile. It's a 10-minute segment. Going, you see, all these guys on Reddit, and they bought all the stocks, and they're the billionaire. And Regal's just going, cool.
Right, yeah.
He said he walked into GameStop and realised he should be investing in it.
It was
That's
like
what
that
that's what he
light.
said.
That light hit a little different in GameStop, apparently, he says.
Okay, that's all right.
He's good. He's good, isn't he?
He is.
Good.
Yeah. Grizzled young vets beat Ciampa and Thatcher to make Maffew sad. Oh, wait, who do they pin or submit? Ciampa or Thatcher?
Ciampa.
Ciampa,
Yes.
and he was out for most of the match as well. They powerbombed him on
Mm-hmm.
the apron, and the doctors had to see to him and stuff.
Oh, that bloody fifth wheel Ciampa. And also, yeah, they progressed the finals of the Dusty Classic. Then all of the opponents for this Sunday's Take Our Pose and argue with each other all around the arena. It is incredibly unnatural and weird.
Oh, have you not seen
Well, like
this?
everybody, no, I don't watch it. I don't like NXT.
Please, for the benefit of me
This
and
is why.
Andrew, and for the listeners, I would like you now, if you've got just to go onto WWE's YouTube channel and watch this, and we can get your live reaction to it.
Oh, please. Go on, Matthew.
Please do.
It's weird. Do you know what it
weird.
reminded me of?
I had 2 seconds. WWE NXT.
It reminded me of, you know, like they used to do the little bits beforehand where it was like, and this match is up next, and it was like the moving bits, and
On
then
the
they'd
trot,
like,
like the-
and
yeah.
then they'd like lock into a pose, and then it'd freeze frame on that. It felt like that. But
Yeah.
just
Take
not
our
as good.
adversaries come face to face.
That's
and
the
all
one.
yelling in front of a trophy. That looks very natural, and they're arguing like you've got those dogs that are behind a fence. Like, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
There's no fence.
No.
Oh, okay, we cut away. Fantastic. There's Big Wade Barrett going, and here is the. Oh, this carries on.
Yeah, I was waiting
All
for
of
that.
them come out in succession.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bake your cake and eat it. And because she's like, what did you just say to me? And then, all right. And then the women, they have the exact... and then it just keeps on going the entire...
But the ending one.
NXT sucks,
But the end one.
so I don't watch it. Oh, Balor and Dunn.
They're in the ring.
Oh, wait, Balor... They look like they're about to... in sync with each other from the opposite side. They're about to start singing. He had it coming, Pete Dunne. He had it coming. And they pose off. That was shocking. That was
It's weird, isn't it?
This is why
It's just
NXT
odd.
I don't watch it, because I try and avoid the things I can get away with watching, and you watch it for me. It's just raw but black and yellow, and has been like this for some time. So I don't like it.
No, Alex. At the minute, I'm a fan of generally of NXT, but recently they've not been in the best form, and I think they are acting like if somebody online, like a teenager, was writing wrestling how it should be in a cool, edgy way. That's what NXT is. A teenager trying to be edgy at the moment. Is that harsh?
No, I agree. Like, NXT is probably the one that I watch the most out of all the shows, like, consistently. And it does feel like that. Like, recently it's just felt not where it has been.
Yeah.
And it feels strange and
Do you know,
kind
I
of like they're in just a dwindling sort of state at the moment, kind of like just rehashing the same things over and over again quite a bit.
I feel like the move to 2 hours was crucial. I feel like when it was 1 hour, it was so like it was just tight and everything. It was tight. It's not like a surfer,
Tight.
dude. It was too. It was such it was such a tubular show when it was 1 hour long. It was kicking radical. Yeah, it was bodacious, right? But then, no, that's the last one I can think of. But then it went to 2 hours, and now they're bringing people through too fast, and like who's Kurt Stallion? What
Yeah, that was a weird one because they've been building that up for so long, but obviously they don't like recognize 205 Live on NXT pretty much at all. So like when someone gets up to there, because he won some like fatal 4-way or something, right? To like get his shot at the Cruiserweight Championship, but none of that was acknowledged at all. So when he comes in, even Wade Barrett's like, who's that? Who's that that's come out right now? And it's like, you should probably like acknowledge your other products and build it up, right?
Wouldn't that be a great crap gimmick? That would actually work in NXT back in the day. The gimmick, no one knows who he is. And coming down the aisle, who's this? Who's it? He's the champ. Oh, apparently the NXT TV champion. Kurt Stallion. That's it, right? Yeah, and every week, Wade Barrett's like a relative unknown. Oh, he's been here for 3 years. Oh, sorry. Fantastic. That was the week of wrestling. Such a crap way to end that segment, really is.
Oh no,
it's fine.
No, wait. Can we all point at each other and mouth off like NXT?
Oh my god.
Like, it's not going to work because the videos aren't aligned. But like wherever I am.
I don't know how we do this. I'm panicking.
I'll like look down at you, Jack. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. It's like University Challenge.
Where are we going to be?
You down there?
Oh no.
I'll kill you.
Okay, thank you, Jack, for showing emotion. All right, okay, that was awful. Another blowaway segment from Cultaholic.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Let's have a little rummage in the mailbag. Number 1. Greetings and salutations, Diddle Squad.
Diddle Squad?
I thought you said Dill Squad.
Yeah,
like,
I don't get that.
Dildo.
I don't like diddle.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, that
Diddle
makes
Squad
sense.
makes sense.
I don't like it.
We'll take it. Firstly, for God's sakes, the bloody Irish lad is called Keith. Not a joke, Ross, promise. And we've had to tell him in our group chat who you are now. Probably go through one ear and out the other. I know Ross is off for the week, and now you guys know. And if he's missed it, if he won't.
He'll miss it if
Do you
he
know what
wasn't
this
here.
was about? I'm forgetting.
Yeah. So Ross bumped into an Irish man in the supermarket
that
twice.
one.
That's the guy.
Obviously, one of the Irish lad's mates listens to the show and has notified him that he's being talked about and has messaged in to let Ross know.
His name's Keith.
His name's Keith. And they had to tell him in the group chat what was up. So, I mean, I wish Ross was here, but I know that we had to mention it one way or the other because it's just huge news. Also got an email from someone named Dan who knows someone who knows Sam's girlfriend. There's been loads of stuff going on this week with connections and stuff. Whoa. But this was the one I had to include just because it's the Irish man from Morrison's.
I'm sure he appreciates, like, people who are from one country originally, then move somewhere else, really appreciate getting called that. There's a guy who works for North Wrestling who everyone goes, hey, Irish, like, have you got the things? I'm like, why are you called Irish? Because I'm from Ireland. I'm like, yeah, but, like, lots of other people are also from there. It's like,
Maffew, that's his shoot name. His real name is the Video Nasty Rory Coyle.
I was going to... Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
It's all right.
Anyway, moving on with wrestling not happening in the UK, what are you missing most about going to independent shows over here? And how do you expect it to recover from this pyro and ballyhoo? That hurt this. That's one way of putting it, mate. Bloody hell. Stay safe, squad, now for a classic quite back to work dickhead.
Classic quote, maybe?
Yeah. What? Stay safe, squad, now for a classic...
Stay safe, squad, now for a classic quote, back to work, dickhead. Or something like that.
Yeah. There you go. Look, I'm only reading them how they're written. I'm sorry. Big Squeezy, indirectly Squatty Too Hotty, and Grandmaster Flexe, the motivators. This is just code now at this point.
I'll be honest, I read the top line of this email and thought, that's good enough, it's going.
Yeah.
And didn't
Don't
really
need to read or proofread any of these. It's great. Yeah, thank you, Big Squeezy.
Cheers, Big Squeezy.
For whatever it is you just said.
And all the lads in the group chat. Hey,
Hey,
boys.
Keith.
Lots.
So, what are you missing most? I know, I'll start off. The travel.
Oh.
I didn't realise how much I appreciated and loved going to different places. Not just in England, but in Scotland, a bit of Wales, Ireland as well, and Germany, obviously. Miss that. Miss the excitement of going somewhere new and meeting new people and just getting yourself out of the bubble you're currently in. Yeah. Oof.
That's a good one.
I'm missing waiting at a bus stop.
Really?
Wow.
Because I haven't done it for so long. I'm missing the boring things. Even the boring things I'm missing out on right now.
Generally,
Jack, what do you miss?
Generally doing stuff with friends is a pretty big part of it, isn't it? Yeah. I miss, because I went through a bit of a little phase of travelling to like Wolverhampton and Manchester and stuff to go and see the indie graps. But obviously, generally I can't now. But even before the pandemic, I'd slowed down on that a little bit. Been very fortunate enough with work to go to some great places to watch wrestling. So I agree with Matthews. But I'm going to go the opposite way and say that I miss your classic North Wrestling on a Saturday night. Everyone goes to the pub after, Rise after that. What a night! I just miss that. I think we've realised we don't miss the actual wrestling, we miss the friendship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Andrew, what about yourself?
Well, like, so the thing, so when I was growing up and stuff, I didn't really go to like indie wrestling shows and that. It'd be my dad would take me to a WWE show or whatever it is. But like since moving here, obviously there's been more opportunity to go to North and stuff, and I've enjoyed doing that with you guys and watching Rampage and Session Moth and all that, and like it's also been a good way to get to know you guys better as well, which has been nice. Like genuinely as well, because a lot of those shows were like the first time that I just moved up, so I was like, oh, people. I'm just usually scared of lots of people and everything. But like those were nice ways to get to know you guys. And I think like what you said, Jack, just like missing mates, just missing being around friends and stuff, and then going for drinks and that afterwards. Like it's a nice excuse, isn't it? Just to have a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't miss the wrestling, no.
Nah.
Oh, no, I couldn't take that.
Who's on the card? Nah, it's fine.
Doesn't matter. Some dude. And speaking of missing friends and seeing and socializing, we hope that Ross is having a lovely, lovely time. Whatever he's doing, or we've got his feet up, just chilling, relaxing, playing some b-ball.
Max and all cool.
Yeah, right.
Shooting some b-ball outside
That's
of
right.
school.
Watch out for those two guys up to no good. And all that other stuff. I want to point out, Ross, sometimes, he said this on the podcast last week, he sometimes gets worried that because he's not here and because Andrew is so lovely, and all the people that have replaced Ross when he's been having some time off of being lovely as well. Because when you have lovely people here at Cultaholic, he's worried that all the comments are going to be, you know what, Andrew should do this every week. No. It's great seeing Andrew. It's great seeing him when he's not doing Twitch and doing Lego stuff. We miss you, Ross. You're great. We like you. So if you're at this point in the video, the podcast, if you could leave a comment saying, God, Ross is a nice lad, or something like that, that would be nice. So he doesn't get discouraged.
Definitely.
And then if he gets an ego next week, we can take the piss out of him. But until then, let him know. Number 2. Tope con hello, mi compadres de Newcastle. Oh, here we go. It's your friendly neighborhood Florida man. Oh, Florida man. Is it the Florida man from the news? Oh, this is going to be good. Here to talk to y'all. He's typed y'all, by the way. As to why Bad Bunny is a big deal to us Hispanic Americans.
I thought this was quite educational. Because we have been asking, what's the deal with Bad Bunny? This person's given a very detailed answer.
Cool. And how it's actually a reflection of the US in 2021. Oh, okay. To keep this as simple as possible, and it says, put on nerd hat as an action. Go on. Fabulous, thank you. Bad Bunny has made huge moves in American pop culture by knowing as little English as possible. He's done cameo appearances at Super Bowl 54 back in 2020. That sounded weird to type. He's headlined Coachella, and the biggest flex, his most recent album, here we go, El Ultimo Tour del Mundo. I put the album title because I enjoyed Maffew's attempts at reading foreign languages, regardless of if he butchers it. Gracias. It's the only album to debut number 1 on the US Billboard 200, singing in all Spanish. Not even Shakira, J-Lo, or Ricky Martin can claim that, as they had English in their songs. Those promos with The Miz and Jomo are basically all the English he knows. So, in all honesty, this is the closest WWE has been to pop culture since that famous My Way video package circa 2001. Yeah! Even my non-wrestling watching girlfriend, whose family still live in Puerto Rico, got excited about Bad Bunny and has wanted to know more about wrestling in general. Says here, she's now a big New Jack fan, but that's another story. Oh. Bad Bunny and New Jack team up at Mania. Hopefully, this gives y'all some insight as to why Bad Bunny is hopping around WWE, up to and including a possible match at Mania. As a Mexican-American dating a Puerto Rican, I may be biased coming from a heavy Hispanic culture on the significance of this, but it does bring up an interesting situation. Fans from Europe, Asia, Africa, etc. may not see the major appeal of certain artists that we here have in the States, or in North-South America in general go crazy about, but that's understandable due to all the different pieces of media that all cultures are subjected to. I personally never knew about the greatness that was Alan Partridge or Fatal Deviation, Christ, due to the limited exposure of those items here in the States. Well, and Fatal Deviation wasn't like a phenomenon over here as well, Balls, at the point that
Where's it from?
OSW did a thing of it.
Fatal Deviation?
Yeah, it's with the guy's haircut. Anyway, you've got to look for it.
Okay.
So this leads into a wrestling-related question. Has there been a wrestler that you are a huge fan of, your circle/echo chamber are huge fans of, that one, Jack, yeah, you got it, but are surprised to find out that most people don't know about their significance, or even worse, not big fans of? It says, insert Maffew's love of Walter prior to NXT UK here. Thank you, mate. I was literally about to say that. I love y'all and your podcast. Thank you for your insight, incredible content, and just overall joyous demeanor. Keep up the great work. And I see if it's Andre, but with an S on the end. Is it Andreas?
Andre.
Is it just Andre? Okay, silent S.
Maybe it's Andreas, I'm not sure, but...
Well, we're guessing here. I'm sorry, pal, for after such an amazingly well-written and educational question. Obviously, I've got to mess up your name. Andre F. Chavez, Orlando, Florida. P.S. Oh, Christ. I Googled Coop Chicken House for giggles. Would happily trade any of my barrel-aged stouts for some food from there. The place looks delicious and way better than Nando's, which, shocker, we have in the States now. That might be one of the best messages we've ever had.
Oh, really? Fair enough.
No, honesty. From all the references and jokes that this person gets from the show, being informative and explaining and not condescending, and also Googling Coop Chicken House.
I know.
That's everything you want to know about the show in one email. So thank you very much, pal.
I did get a Coop last week, and boy, howdy, it was delicious as always.
You get some special. You get some little slip under the table, some nice little special bits.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, the main bulk of it was I got the wings, right? They've got a new flavour of wing available. It's like South Carolina barbecue or something. It was so good. It's my new favourite flavour of wing. Brilliant. So anyway, the question was good.
Yeah. What do you think about the chicken, to be honest with you? Oh, God. Don't order it, Maffew. Don't order it, Maffew. I'm going to order it. Yeah, I like that. People or wrestlers and stuff that are in your bubble and they talk to other people and they don't give a toss. I mean, anybody in Dub, I mean, I'm sure people appreciate... I was thinking about this, like, you know how, maybe you don't remember, but how gate-kept Japanese companies were in the 90s because you had to order it and get a tape and know a dude and get over it, and then you read Power Slam magazine and be like, oh, this guy's great, and some kid who watches, WWF's going, I want to read about The Rock and Steve Austin. Who are these people? Who's Kenta Kobashi? Well, I don't care. But I think the equivalent to that, and I haven't tried to do it, but just how much I've enjoyed going to Dub over the years for 16 Carat. I wonder that that's how people see that. Oh, here comes Maffew talking about his bloody German wrestling. Oh, God.
Is there anyone apart from Volta who you could say
I was going to do Dub here. I'll say one thing, the fact that I bring up like FMW and the deathmatch stuff like Freedoms and Junkasai and all the rest and stuff, I think that kind of is because there's, even in the bubbles of wrestling I'm in, not a lot of them like deathmatch wrestling. And even though those are the guys I'm looking forward to seeing when Tony Khan opens the forbidden. Wait, is that right? It's the forbidden door.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He opens the 1,000-day door and fights a paper dragon. And
He goes in the Temple of Time and puts the sword in the thing.
There you go.
Zelda reference. I know that one.
There
Jack.
you go.
I know that one.
What was that? Was
Linger.
that the end of your? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I was just thinking, just to let that settle. Yeah, I'll say them. Those guys, because people go, Jun Kasai, what? That's who you want to interfere in AEW, I'm like, yeah. Like, he's nearly 50. He's like, oh, okay. He's a main eventer in NXT with that age. What about you, Jack?
I've got to say that there is a WXW guy that I saw and thought he's good. Him, you know, when you see a wrestler and you're like, he is special straight away. You can tell. I really like Bobby Guns.
I was the one I was going to put, but I thought, let's move away from Johnny for a bit. But yeah, I'm glad that you like Bobby Guns.
Bobby Guns class, and also, obviously, the one that people often mention to me actually is because on Wrestlers of the Week, I watched a few Evolve matches with Darby Allin in before he was as widely known now. But I don't want to claim that he was some undiscovered little gem because Evolve was still pretty big for an indie promotion. So I'll go with Bobby Guns. Andrew, what about you?
Andrew, no, before you do that, like Bobby Guns' thing would be come out smoking and be like, smoking kills, and so does Bobby Guns.
Well, you see, I'm like a basic beach, in that I like never really got into sort of like the dub stuff or like the deathmatch kind of stuff until later on, and then sort of realizing what they are for you guys and everything. So like I don't really have an answer for that. But like I remember just going back and watching Evolve stuff, or like even there was that documentary on BBC, right? And it was like Pete Dunne back in the day wrestling in his little local blooming. What would you call it? Like, not a church, like a community hall or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's the town hall.
Stuff like that, yeah. Or like Spud, Rockstar Spud, when he was knocking about with his giant hair and everything, which might be like basic answers.
No, Andrew, you're missing the point. This is the idea. There's so many different bubbles now. I mean, back when wrestling was a thing in the UK and Ireland, there were so many bubbles. There was the ICW bubble, the Progress bubble, and all the others. They've all popped now. But who was yours? Who was somebody you looked at and looked, wow, that's nice?
I think probably Peter Doom. I was like, he's a cool dude. He's doing all the flips, all the cool things.
He did used to be flippy, didn't he?
He did used to be very flippy. Yeah, a lot more flippy than he is now.
He was teaming with Mark Andrews in bright colours and stuff.
Yeah,
it's very
Pete
Dunne.
It was quite a big boy back then as well. Like, and to be doing that, I was like, oh, that's pretty. I like him. He's pretty cool. But I never had I never had friends. No, I never had friends that were into wrestling. It was pretty much just me, one other guy, and then he'd got out of wrestling, and then I slowly like started getting out of it, and then and got back into it. But yeah, Big Pete. He's a good lad. I like him.
Good times. And I got thinking about that, like that. I think when he showed up for WCPW, that just showed the bubbles were in. Like people like me were like, "Oh, it's Pete Dunne, Attack Pros, very." Everyone knows who he is. He's great. All the WCPW people are like, he's wearing a singlet. Crap, Jack Swagger. And Pete Dunne's like, what?
It was so mad.
Swagger.
It could be over such a small distance. Like England's not a big place, and at North once. I'd just been in the Midlands watching Aussie Open get a huge reception.
Right.
They come out at North, and there's like, for the opening match, big like Run the Jewels theme tune, everyone's like, they walk out, and there's like a polite bit of applause, and I'm like, I've just, like 3 weeks ago, seen these guys get a huge ovation. And then Team White Wolf come out from Spain and beat them, and everyone's like, oh, these lads made it. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And that's not me trying to like crap on Aussie Open, because they're one of the best tag teams in the country. Yeah. But it was just bizarre to see. The bubbles thing's so weird.
Yeah, you think like we're all in the same bubble, and then no one pops. Like, another one quickly. WCPW booked Winter, aka the former Nikita from FWA years and years ago.
We?
But Winter from TNA.
Was this Defiant times rather than?
I'll have to check which era it was. But she came out. She came out the Winter song. The winter be, whatever. And I'm like, it's winter from Teenage. No pop.
Wait.
Nothing. I'm like, wait a minute, you listen to Nikita, right? She was like the one lass of women's wrestling during the early 2000s, like the one good one and all this. And there was like nothing. Not a sausage, Jack.
I remember we booked Katie Lee Burchill. That was cool. She was cool. She was cool.
Yeah, that's her.
Is that her? Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah, I thought she
was she not winter? She definitely had the winter theme, which made me like, oh my god.
She was one of the, when they wrote that storyline where I had to chat everyone up, she was one of the ones I had to chat up.
Oh.
She was really sound about it. She was lovely. But yeah.
Did she do it as winter, like Jack the Jobber? I've come thousands of years. Wait, it's just NXT, isn't it?
No, it was like the shortest one. I was running down a corridor away from Primate and stopped and was like, and I tripped on my words, so I was like, you're Katarina Lee, I think she was at the time, from that America, even though she's not American.
That America.
And she looked at me and went, that America? And then Primate burst out the door and went, bleh, and I ran away. It worked out. For me being a terrible actor, it actually worked out all right.
Can we have that on NXT next week?
To interrupt, it was at the O2 Academy in 2016, still WCPW, Nixon Newell defeats Alex Windsor and Katarina Lee.
Katarina Lee, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It went 4 minutes 30.
Oof. Nixon was a dominant women's champion, so I mean.
Well, clearly at 4 minutes 30, it's good.
Absolutely.
Anyway, enough bubbles. Number 3, Tope Con. Insert wrestling greeting pun here.
Nice.
Tope Con. Pile driver. Diddler, woof, woof, moo, moo, something delicious, etc. Bloody hell, mate. She got all of them on a t-shirt. After a long work week, as I relax on my comfy couch with the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast playing on the laptop, Jack has now just mentioned that he's been sitting on a story for a couple of weeks now, and he has been looking for an opening to fit said story in. Knowing this crowd, I'm not the first one to ask this particular question, but it's worth a shot. Jack, what's the story you'd like to tell us? And as an aside, why haven't you or Owen brought the flipping belt into the office for our champion, for your champion, the lovely Ross? You lazy bastards. That's what it says here. I say that with love, mostly, it says. I have absolutely no idea WTF I'm even talking about at this point, mostly because it's 7:15 p.m. and I haven't eaten a damn thing all day. Ooh. So I think I need to stop typing and go get food now.
Get some
Cheers,
food.
lads. Eric from Boston, MA. I like that he typed how he was feeling, like Shatner. Feeling tired and hungry. Must stop.
I'm just looking now where the belt is usually kept, and it's not there.
It's here.
So, we've dropped it off?
So Owen dropped it off the other day. He has, in fact, dropped it off for Ross, but obviously Ross is off this week, so it's still nowhere to be seen on the channel as of yet. But I'm feeling like Clarence is going to replace the belt anyway. I think Clarence has a bigger presence right now.
I like that you said he made the journey.
So obviously,
5 minutes away from your house
in the snow.
Oh.
Now I have to point out that I'm only going to tell this story if you guys are all right with it, because I chose this question in the mailbag, and it feels a bit cheeky to be like, well, you know.
It depends. Is it a good story or is it a crap story?
At first I thought this will be a good story for the podcast, and the more you think about it, you lose a bit of confidence.
Oh, you're hesitating. Yeah, you got to tell it then. You got to tell it.
You built it up so much.
Go on, Andrew. Get your drink, and then just
I'll try and keep it quiet. No, I'm not telling it because it's got an amazing punchline or anything. I'd really like to know your thoughts on what happened to me in this story.
Oh,
okay.
And to build it up a little bit, apart from like family deaths and stuff, really serious stuff. Apart from that, I'd probably say it was like the worst day of my life, right?
Wow.
I know. Just in terms of day-to-day stuff going wrong, it was the worst day of my life in a Mr. Bean sort of way, right? not in terms of serious things going wrong. But
turkey on the head. Did you put a turkey
on the head? like the slapstick stuff.
Drive the car, the broomstick.
So I'd recently broken up with my first ever girlfriend, so I was feeling quite down anyway, right? I was at uni, and there's been a night out the night before, and we brought people back to the kitchen in our halls for a bit of a post-session, few drinks and stuff. Then I'd gone to bed quite early because I was still feeling a bit down. I was like, I don't really want to stay up too long with everyone. Just went to bed. Get woken up at about like 9 a.m. the next day. Knock on the door from one of the porters in the building. He was like, is that Jack? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, the senior tutor wants to see you. The senior tutor was like a woman called Jill. She was like the headmistress if uni was of the building. And I'm blind and hangover, get dragged down and stuff. And she sits me down on my own in this room with her and goes, "So there was a fire in your kitchen last night, and we've had reports that it was you who did it. What have you got to say for yourself?" And I'm like, "Right, I didn't do it." And then she went, "Look, I know you did it. I'm gonna have to get you to go around and basically wake up everyone who was involved and bring them down here." And I was like, "Fair enough, but I didn't do it." And then she went, "Look, I'm not afraid to get the police involved here." And I went, "I didn't do it." And I think because I didn't panic I did panic. I was like, I was hungover and I was like, I'm single and hungover and I don't know what I'm doing. But I was like, because I didn't admit that I'd done it when she said police, I think she realized like, maybe he actually didn't do it. And she went, right. Then she got this piece of paper and she went, and by the way, I'm like 19. I'm not like 12. She gets this piece of paper out and goes, right, you're going to have to write down the names of everyone who was there when you were in the kitchen. I was like, all right. Wrote down the names of people. Most of them were from my flat, obviously. And then I just went back to bed. And then my mates got dragged down there and they came back and I was like, so what happened? And they were like, so one of the other like people that we'd invited back to our kitchen, I can't say his name, was a lad called Roger. and Roger was there because he fancied one of the other girls who was there. And she'd accidentally left an oven glove on top of the hob and it had set on fire. And to protect this girl that he fancied, he just said that I was there and it was me. And I was like, oh. And nothing ever came of it. Obviously, they got told off for accidentally starting the fire. But the way he told it to her must have sounded like I did it on purpose. And I was in bed. I wasn't even in the room. And I never got an apology from Jill. And I'm still resentful to this day. Maybe that's part of the reason why I wanted to tell this story. But it's actually because I've been watching a YouTube channel with police interrogations and it felt like So that's my story anyway. And I'm sorry for hijacking a whole section of this podcast.
That's good.
Hijacking. Perfect, mate. Perfect.
But I just felt like I needed to get it off my chest. And maybe now, some years later, I can finally get over it because...
Or we can find Jill for you so she can actually apologise.
Jill can just...
No, we can't, Andrew. She's doing 20 years because of this.
Why was I fine saying Jill's name but not Roger's real name?
Because you want to find her, track her down, that's why.
I was annoyed at Roger as well. What's he doing?
What's he on with? Starting fires.
No, protecting Olivia. Oh, that was her real name.
Oh no! Oh, we're nearly there then.
Yeah,
so doing so good during this pretend interrogation, Jack.
So if anyone wants to leave in the comments or maybe write in if they've experienced similar situations of injustice when a real panic takes hold of you because you realise I'm telling the truth and they don't believe me. But yeah, there we go.
Jack, some thoughts. One, I'm pleasantly surprised to hear that someone said, you did this, we know you did, and you stood your ground, because every time we've had you on here, you're like, no, wait, did I? Oh, maybe I did. You know what, it was me, you know. So I'm glad that you, in front of a real serious thing, you were like, no, it wasn't.
It was the arrogance of youth. I was just...
so if it happened now, you go, yeah, it was me.
Maybe I did.
I've not been in the building for 3 weeks, but it was me.
The weird thing that happens, though, and I saw this on the police interrogation channel, even if you had nothing to do with it and I wasn't in the room at all, my mind still went, well, how many drinks did I have? Maybe I've forgotten. Could I have possibly... And then I had to sort of snap into it and be like, no, I didn't start a fire. I would have remembered if I'd started a fire. But yeah.
Similarly, I was thinking about this the other day, weirdly, to bring you up. When I was in uni first year in Halls, lovely people there, very different. I only kept in touch with one of them, and that's fine, because the one I liked the most. There was another lad there, dead canny, music type, sports type, cool, whatever, no problem. Maybe the last few months we were there, someone ate something that was his out of the fridge, which no one did. I mean, I guess some people would be out with that, but that hadn't happened before.
Spit crap.
Yeah. And he got annoyed and he was like, yeah, fair enough. You know, admit it, whatever, buy me a new one. And everybody else accused, it's like Among Us, everybody else accused me. Goes, Maffew, just say you did it. He goes, what? How dare you? No, I would. Wait, you think I'd... One, you think I did? All right, maybe I would. But two, I'd admit it. You think I'm going to lie over yogurt? And, and then he got annoyed because everyone went, Well, it must be. Well, it wasn't. So I don't know. Them using the power of 12 angry men against us. They go, well, I think it was Maffew. You think it's Maffew as well, right? Don't you? And then they go, oh, it must have been him because this person's saying this and edging it on, and I hadn't. And again, he got more and more annoyed, and because it's like, I can't believe you're not saying this. It's over this. I went, I didn't do it, and he didn't speak to me until at the very end. I was like, all right, well, cool, bye. And it was like,
wow,
mate.
He's definitely Jill's son.
So I still wonder to this day who ate it and why they felt they need to blame me.
Yeah.
You look like you'd steal yogurt, Maffew.
Yeah.
Did you have your suspicions over who it might have been?
No, because they're all so nice.
Right. Ooh.
Or maybe he ate it. I don't know why. It gets crazy speculation at that point. He ate it himself and then blamed other people because he was in a bad place.
This is like Among Us.
It can happen in real life. It's sad. And actually, Jack,
someone there scoffed it, vented away, left it left outside your room.
Yeah, there's some wet footprints leading up to my room from the yogurt.
Emergency meeting, bang.
Yeah.
It's Maffew. Sus.
But also, Jack, with that person there, I think, you know what, when it comes to relationships and trying to get people, I think you can give a bit of leeway with someone trying to blame a fire on the fact that they want to get with somebody. As long as they apologise to you and go, look, I'm sorry, but the fact that they haven't done that is shocking behaviour.
He never apologised either.
Oh.
No. I know.
That hurts more.
Yeah, that hurts way more than
it does.
Yeah, but I wasn't friends with him, but I never confronted him really about it because he was the sort of, I assume anyway, just from the way he was, he may have come from a bit of a sheltered upbringing. Like, it was his time at uni. He was free. Like, there's no rules. Like, so maybe
burn all the houses down.
So I never was like, mate, what are you doing? I just sort of, got on with it.
So you didn't set an oven mitt on fire and then throw it through his window.
This one's for you, Roger.
Got you.
What about you, Andrew? Have you been falsely accused?
I might have been on the other side of it one time. Oh. And I still to this day feel quite guilty about this. It's nothing spectacular, right? It's nothing spectacular. So in first year of uni, living in halls, you got the refrigerators, right? You got the fridges. And on our fridges, it was like caged on each shelf. So everybody had their own separate shelving thing. So no one could, and it had a lock on it, so you couldn't steal other people's food. But I bought a load of Copperberg one day, and I'd put it in the freezer, and I was like, I'll get that out later, and I put it on the top shelf, and I was like, I'll get that out later. So I completely forgot to take it out later, and all the bottles exploded in the freezer and ruined someone's food, like completely just ruined all this person's food. And I was in my room, and I was like, I saw like shouting going on in the kitchen. There's like loads of shouting going on. So I went in the kitchen, and like there was a Liverpudlian guy, and who was there? It was like, I think it might have been an Irish lass as well, and they were just going at it, being like, I can't believe you ruined my food. I can't believe you ruined my food. And I was like, I was just stood there, and I was like, it was like Homer Simpson where he backs into the hedge. I like walked into the kitchen, saw this was going on, and she was blaming him, and I was like, I'll just back out of this now. Andrew. And I didn't say anything. I feel so guilty, right? I feel so guilty about that to this day. And she, like, even afterwards, she was talking to me about it, like, I can't believe he's done this, and I was just like, yeah.
Like, ooh, you think you know someone, Jack?
Exactly, right? And I felt so bad, but me being just so scared of talking to anyone, just didn't say anything and left it there. So that was me. That was me that put the oven mitt on the hob there and blamed Jack pretty much. I didn't blame anybody. I just didn't own up to it. That was the problem.
You put the screw in the tuna.
I did. I was bad. Naughty boy. So I'm sorry. Everyone hates me now. Can't wait for Ross to come back next week.
There you go. That's it. Thank you. You know what? All the people going, you know what? I was liking Ross. I liking Andrew as the replacement, but after that grimy story he's just told. Sorry.
Can't believe it.
By the way, the Irish lass in that story, her name was Keith.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
As a quick amendment to that, I also remembered the story where I was not looking after the dog, but I was in the house and the parents went out. And the parents came back in. They're like, cool, you have a nice time here by yourself then? It's like, yeah, sure. Cool, can you let us know why you felt the need to feed an entire large dairy milk bar to the dog? I went, what? And I went, well, go in the kitchen and looked. On the kitchen side had been in a carrier bag, dairy milk bar, the big ones for special occasions, get off your nana, had been in there, and the wrapping was off, very delicately, very nicely, and it was empty. And there was a dog there looking suspicious. And I went, wait, I did not. One, I'd never give a dog chocolate. Two, why do you think I'd give an entire family-sized bar to the dog? You want us to believe, Maffew, that this dog got that chocolate bar out of that carrier bag, and he's not like ripped it apart. He's managed to open it up, and he's eating it all by himself. And I went, yeah. And he went, You're not that daft to like feed a dog an entire week's worth of chocolate in one. So, all right. To this day, I have no idea how the dog did it, but thankfully the family went, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Wait. And the dog was all right as well, yeah?
Yeah, the dog. Yeah, they checked it and it was fine.
Oh, perfect.
I had to have some pills for a bit and it was fine. But it just goes to show you the family was like, well, you are thick. You're like 12 egg omelette thick, Maffew, but you're not that thick. So it's on the cusp of being possible to do that.
Everyone was convinced he ate the yogurt. The dog thing's got no explanation. I think Maffew is Tyler Durden. And these things are happening. I should also point out...
His name was Keith the Irishman. His name was Keith the Irishman.
In my story, I did say it was the worst non-serious day of my life. And now I feel like it didn't come across that badly. And I've just remembered that I think that I'd broken up with my girlfriend in the early hours of that morning.
Ooh.
So I think in total, that was a bad day. A very bad day. I'm not trying to say that... People might be thinking, well, Jack's had a pretty easy ride, really, hasn't he? Got accused of something that was the worst day of his life.
Yeah, but the police were almost involved, Jack. It was serious. It was serious stuff.
It was the worst sitcom day of my life. There we go.
You'd have to have varying levels of a worst day of your lives.
Yeah.
Like
Solid.
People listening to this podcast wondering when we get to the next question. And that is now. Number 4. How's it going, gentlemen? My name is Matt, and I've been a big fan of all of you at Cultaholic for quite some time. Your channel has the right blend of news, entertainment, comedy, and realism. Wow. And every one of you contribute to this wonderful channel to make it that way. Thank you for all you do. I know that your work provides me with a lot of happiness in a time where happiness can certainly be hard to find. I live in Chicago, Illinois, which a lot of people in the wrestling world consider to be a great wrestling city. There are several places that have been dubbed great wrestling cities, and I'd love to know from your collective opinion, what are the top 5 wrestling cities in the world, and what is the winning formula for a great wrestling city? My top 5, this person's top 5, are Philadelphia, London, Montreal, New York City, Chicago, with honorable mentions being Boston, Tokyo, Detroit, and Memphis. Hope you all are doing well. Thanks for reading my mailbag question and look forward to hearing your opinions. All the best, Matt. Thank you, Windy Matt.
It's a unique question. It's a unique question. Right. Andrew, did you laugh there because you knew what I was doing?
Oh, you were just going like this. I don't know. You were like doing some hip cool things there. Like, Memphis, bro.
When he said Memphis, I wanted to sing Walking in Memphis, but I didn't want to for YouTube reasons. No, too accurate. Mate.
Go on.
Too accurate. Good wrestling cities, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know about them, right?
A consensus top 5. Well, Newcastle upon Tyne.
Yes.
The birthplace of NCL, Absolute, WCPW, nearly forgot.
No.
To name but 3. ICW when they tried.
It's the home of Cultaholic and What Culture? Well, Gates said What Culture, but you know.
That's right. And a little man named Pac.
Yes. Lewis the Dragon Beardsley.
That's right.
Various others.
H.T. Drake.
Ross Tweddle is from here. Me.
Jack the
Jimmy
Jobber.
Nail. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And it's the coldest city in England, as Jack has said many times, so why wouldn't we put it there? Lovely fans, though. Lovely fans for wrestling. What about you, Andrew? How about you do one next?
It's not a city, and you'll probably know this one very well, Maffew. What about Preston? What about
Preston
when have you
City
been to
Wrestling?
Preston?
Yeah, Preston City Wrestling.
Yeah,
It's a city.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Well,
I guess kicking and screaming.
why have you gone for Preston there, Andrew?
Yeah,
Like, because where I live isn't too far from Preston. Used to play a lot of gigs in Preston, and I do just remember Preston City Wrestling. Like, that was always a thing. You'd see the flyers on like in the venues and stuff, and I was like, God, I was out of wrestling at this point as well, and I was like, oh, but look at that. That looks cool. Wade Barrett and that. Go on then.
I feel like.
did you go to any?
I didn't, and I regret it so much. I genuinely regret it so much.
I feel like out of all the wrestling cities in the world, though.
Preston is up there.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Of course it is. Can we actually put Newcastle in this top 5?
Yeah, it's our show.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere in sort of the mid-2010s, it kind of became the centre of wrestling, guys. It kind of became the centre of wrestling.
Many centres of wrestling. And all those companies we mentioned, only one of them is still running.
Yep. Until Cultaholic Pro starts up soon.
Oh, yes. Can't wait. So Preston is one of them. I had Newcastle from you, Jack.
We can't have Preston.
I'm going to say Alberhausen.
Is it Oberhausen?
It's in Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yay.
WXW territory.
Yay. Yes, because they have
Grove
the
Street for WXW.
big shows twice a year.
Did they get him in? God's sake, that was
Hi,
so...
mate. The D. Yeah, and some of the happiest times have been there because Germany isn't that far away for people this side of the pond, as they call it over there in that weird country, to fly over. So everybody congregates in that lovely area of Germany from all parts of the United Kingdom and Ireland, other parts of Europe, come together, this wonderful melting pot of people. Something, Walter, something, Bobby Guns. What have you got next, Jack?
Great pick, by the way. I'm going to go for Big Tokyo. It's steeped in history, a lot of great wrestlers, a lot of great shows. You know, the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know how much I need to go on, but if anyone here is if anyone listening is ever fortunate enough to go to Japan or has been already, the food is unbelievable. The food in Japan is insane. I didn't think I'd like it because I'm not big into seafood. It's not just everything's amazing. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't believe I was stupid enough to think that all they ate was fish.
Fish and chips.
No, but like the quality of the food's unbelievable. I came back enjoying the food more than the wrestling, man. But Tokyo is my option. So we got Newcastle, Preston, Oberhausen, and Tokyo. It's going well.
Yes. Andrew, do you have any other cities or big towns to nominate?
Genuine, probably. I think Philadelphia, because I used to love ECW growing up. I know when we said Philadelphia before, Maffew was like,
he went like.
The reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is not because I have like this anti-Philadelphia thing, but it's all well. One of the worst things I think ECW did was when Heyman would come out and go, you know what, you guys are the stars, yay! Because it was part of it. Yeah, ECW had that amazing crowd that fit that genre, that style. But since then, God, the generation after that the ones that go to CZW and Chikara and all the other companies around that area that would just come out to sit on their hands and boo everything is just amazing. That lasted longer than ECW. So that's why I go, oh, great, Philly, yeah. Like, 2 seconds into a match, boring. I'm like, yeah, that's those wonderful Philly fans. But at the same time, they are insanely passionate.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it the most, is probably the heart of and the passion that those fans have. Like, that watching like old ECW DVDs and stuff, that used to blow me away, that people were like was so invested in it, because you don't get that scope when you're a kid and you're watching like Elimination Chamber or whatever, like Survivor Series on DVD, like, but when you're in there and then the wrestlers are just in the crowd like flipping into him and everything, like they genuinely make him feel like a part of that and like felt like a community and stuff. And I like it when things like that all come together nicely. You get the crowd involved and stuff. Like, yeah.
That's a good answer.
That's a lovely way of putting that. I would say the closest I've been to that in real life is ICW in Glasgow. Because, yeah, those crowds are into it. And it's so good. And they're sweaty and they're full of beer and they're singing songs. And they're just like, I'm wearing my colours of my wrestler. That's who I support. I don't care what they come out and do. I don't care if they try and kill a dude with a forklift or whatever. I'm cheering them. They've got his shirt on. It's awesome. Any other thoughts there, Jack, on the amazing
I was going to just
Wrestling City debate?
I was going to chuck in a few honourable mentions. New York, obviously. Dallas, Chicago. Memphis, as the email mentioned already. I'm struggling now. That might do... Oh! Calgary.
Ooh.
Oh, no, the one I was actually thinking of was Atlanta. But there we go.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Ah, that's nice. Please let us know your Wrestling City picks. And we'll just go, nah, Newcastle's the best. Sorry, mate, suck it. But we'd like to hear your picks anyway. And as if this mailbag wasn't long enough, question number 5. All right, lads. Great to have Andrew make his podcast debut. Brackets, I do love Ross, by the way. We knew you did. You didn't need to say that, mate. Time to initiate him with a quiz to test his knowledge.
Oh, no.
Because there's people who listen to SmackDown, watch along, know he doesn't know who Chris Benoit is, but he remembers Rodney Mack, and I am the stupidest man in the history of podcasts.
No.
Andrew, what? Oh, Christ. Andrew, what is a diddler?
A diddler, in the cultaholic sense of the word,
Good.
is someone naughty. A baddon, as we like to call it. Not Abaddon, the wrestler, but a baddon. You're a naughty and you.
Well done.
You're a diddler.
Not Abaddon, the wrestler. That's great, that.
Because that's how I thought what she were called for it. Me and Adam one time, when we were preparing for a news video, he said to me, it's pronounced Abaddon, right? And I was like, yeah, that's what you say, Abaddon. And he's like, right, it's Abaddon. Like, and I just went, yeah, as if, when someone's bad. And he's like, no, the wrestler. And I was like, yeah, Abaddon. When they're they're and we went back and forth, not even knowing for so long. And then when we realised, you were like, yeah, dafty, what you on about? I had a proper go at him. Like,
making her way to the ring.
What are you doing?
Abaddon.
Oh, that's mean. That's it. That's the highlight of the show so far. Abaddon,
yeah. And we were going back and forth on this for like, not even kidding, like at least a good 5 minutes until we realised, we're saying we've got two different things in mind here.
Andrew, who goes E?
Who goes E?
Yeah, who goes E?
Yeah, this is a cultaholic thing, not a wrestling thing.
Not a clue. I don't know that one.
It's fine.
Slap me on wrist.
That's fine. It's fine.
That's my mate James from primary school.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
That's a season 1 reference.
Not Roger.
No, Roger.
No. He's got many. Andrew, who is Dan Hinkles?
Dan Hinkles.
Hinkles. Danny Hinkles.
Well, it's Danny Hinkles first of all.
Yeah.
I not a clue about Danny Hinkles. I'm bad at this, aren't I? I shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Not a clue. Go on, give me some context.
He was the owner, I guess.
He was the
promoter with inverted commas around it of 5 Star Wrestling, our favorite wrestling promotion.
He's the Heyman.
Yes,
he's the
Heyman. yeah. ECW guys didn't get paid either. Unrelated, but I will be I've interviewed 5 people so far for this 5-star documentary that either Cultaholic will do or I'll be doing. I don't care.
I'm so excited, man.
Anyway, Andrew, who was... Oh, Christ, I don't know the answer to this. Who was the first ever induction into the Cultaholic Hall of Fame?
Jesus criminy.
I can give you a clue.
Go on.
It was Ross who won. And it was the first week So you know it was. He's done
Bloody
it.
hell, well done, mate. Yes.
Wow. That was class.
Andrew, Jack's friend, had a wrestling match with Lita when touring WWE. Why was the match stopped?
Yeah, my friend did have a match with Lita.
Because Jack ran out and went, I fancy her. And then he had to run away really fast.
What?
Because that was your angle in WCPW.
Yeah, that's good, that.
So you came out and were like, I fancy her. And then she was like, ran off, count out. That's why.
No, presumably ran off in pursuit of me rather than away from my clutches, you'd hope. This was a story that I told once on the podcast from in primary school when people just make stuff up.
Yeah.
Like my uncle works for Nintendo. He's got a Nintendo 65.
You mean he doesn't?
Mine does. But this was a girl in my primary school who, because wrestling was the thing, everyone was in wrestling back then, and she was like, I've been. There was two of them, her and another lad. They both colluded. They fed off each other with this story that they've both been for a tour of WWE.
Wow.
Now, the boy said that he went into a room, opened it, and Gilbert was in there just going, ah! And he closed the door. No! And I remember the motion that he did. Ah! So he like closed it. He's like, I'm not having any of Gilbert.
Like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
And then, but more angry though. Like I remember he leant towards the tarmac of the playground and went, ah! And then the girl said that she'd had a little practice match with Lita, but she gave Lita the pedigree, and Lita was too hurt to continue. So she just won.
This is amazing.
I know. I wish I could remember more.
Gilbert.
Oh, I should have. Did I not mention the Gilbert bit? I should have probably mentioned the Gilbert bit.
That's so good.
Because he's just Gilbert backstage. Hey, how you doing, Dwayne? Ah!
But this wasn't like a tour of Titan Towers or a tour of a backstage. It was just a tour of the WWF.
He's
That's
huge
amazing.
Gilbert. Anyway,
Jeez.
Andrew, the last question. In 5-star wrestling during the snowstorm, who did Alberto Del Rio wrestle?
Oh no, I knew that Alberto Del Rio had wrestled, but I don't know who he wrestled. That's the Maffew Greg.
No, it was Jack's friend. How funny it was.
She gave
Mr.
a
Jody
pedigree.
Fleisch.
Yeah, Jody Fleisch.
Yes. It's just the fact that we were talking about that show in front of dozens of people during the Beast from East. Anyway, it doesn't matter about that. You, I'm not going to work out the scores, but you passed
I got 2.
in our hearts, Andrew.
I got 2. Thank you. I got 2 right. I'll take that. Better than none.
Anyway, cheers, Jack Coyle. Thank you, Jack, for that.
Thank you.
That was a healthy round of questions,
Bloody hell.
queries, thoughts, and everything else. Thank you
gotta
very
say-
much for keeping the mailbag consistently good to people who watch this show.
I've got to say, I don't know how Ross does it, but I found myself really struggling hard with which ones to pick because there was a really strong week for the mailbag. So yeah, thanks
There
everybody.
you go. Well,
Lot
there you
of
go. Jack just told you to send them again.
A lot of Australians in this one. So that's mailbag at cultaholic.com.
Yeah.
Oh, steal my bit.
I'm sorry, yeah, I don't know what to
No,
do.
you did great. Yeah. Well, you clearly didn't steal it all because you got the name right. Oh, and that's sound of
going
the
on?
police. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, Jack's
There was 2.
called on Jill. Jill's
police-
coming for you. She's been listening.
There's police
Yeah,
and
where's Owen and the oven glove? Yeah. Cool. On that note, next segment. As if the show wasn't long enough, Reese's Pieces. Hope you're all good, lads. Since every recent mailbag has quizzed you on international slang terms, I thought I'd throw out a quiz for slang terms that originate from our beautiful country, the United Kingdom. These terms typically originate from ethnically diverse youth cultures and neighbourhoods in areas like Midlands, London, and even up to north in Manchester and Yorkshire. A lot of Tories associate the language with minority groups and lower class criminals. But that couldn't be further from the truth, as it's common throughout many social classes depending on the city you grew up in and the people you grew around. If you struggle to get any of these right, you may need to diversify your friendships or encourage diverse people to migrate over to Newcastle.
We're not.
Have you just heard how good the wrestling is? What else do you want?
we're not the most diverse place in the country. We've got a Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these terms are more difficult than the others. Here's the terms from all around the United Kingdom.
I'll get Google in case we can't.
It's weird though. We should diversify people from around the country to come up to Newcastle and live here, I guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna get.
That's how it works, right?
Anyway,
go on. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm quite worried from the description that we're gonna seem like the uncoolest, like whitest lads.
What do you mean?
Well,
Have you seen me?
wait.
Yeah, we're all gonna be
enjoying,
so cool.
Jack.
We're so cool. Yeah, we're so cool. We are cool.
But I mean, what? I speak to people from around England.
Yeah, we'll know these.
But you're supposed to know every bit of colloquialism in the area.
No, we'll knock these off in a second.
Anyway. It's like you're getting defensive. I'm like, we'd be defensive for you. This is you being guilty again, Jack, for nothing. Safe.
Sound,
means,
mate.
Like, yeah, it's good, that.
Yeah.
Sound.
Safe. Like, something good's happened. Is that right, Jack?
Oh,
check, or?
Yeah, you got to
check what safe means. I'm sure
Just say safe over and over again for your laptop.
Sweet, good, sweet, yeah, cool, good.
Okay.
You can use bear safe to mean very good.
Whoa.
Bear safe.
Bears
Like
aren't
bear.
very safe.
Not bear like that, like bear like mate, that is bear. Wicked.
Bear
Oh, like
wicked,
nothing but safe, I guess.
I'm not a teenager.
More
couldn't tell.
More hand symbols, Jack. Go
That
on.
is bear wicked.
Oh, now you've said it. Now I get it.
It's so tubular.
Sorry, it's gonna get better. Yard.
Home. I'm going yard, mate.
Oh, I didn't know that one, yeah.
I thought yardie was a thing, like working class man.
Maybe. I don't know.
Can you Google it then?
What, yard or yardie?
Oh, yard. Ignore me, man. Made up once. Yeah.
Yard is hanging ground, chilling ground, home, area where you live.
Oh, okay, yeah. Peak.
Oh no.
Oh.
I've Googled yardie.
What is
you doing?
yardie?
It's a person whom is a native of Jamaica, according to Urban Dictionary. Oh, that's.
Oh, I was this close.
But I thought it was like a pejorative, like it was associated with like gang culture. But maybe I'm just totally wrong.
Oh no, I'm not like doing slurs, am I?
I don't think you're doing
Oh,
slurs.
nah.
I don't think you are.
I'm
sure
sorry.
I'm sure there's a gang called that in GTA, the most PC of all computer games.
Oh wait, yeah, there was a film, Yardie,
Oh well.
directed by Idris Elba. That's right.
Oh well, yeah. We'll be fine.
Whoa, what's going on there?
Oh
you
no,
not?
there we go.
GTA?
Bloody Vin Diesel's just driven past that.
Oh,
It's the word police. No, they get us. Peak. P-E-A-K.
It's a lovely district.
yes,
in
it is.
England.
I can tell you.
It's peak means like the opposite, the very bottom, the worst something could. Oh mate, that's a bit shocking. That's peak.
Is that what that means?
I believe so. I'm gonna have a check.
I don't think I've ever used it in a
Me
way
neither.
other than the peak of.
I watched Top Boy recently, so
Don't lie, you hang out with all cool kids around
yeah.
around convenience store.
So the example given here is, oh no, my phone battery just died. That's peak for you.
So that's
It's the worst it could be. Peak. Yeah.
What are you using, by the way? Is it Urban Dictionary?
It is unfortunately
Oh, okay,
Urban
cool.
Dictionary, but I can't think of what else to use really.
No. I mean, if you can't trust Urban Dictionary, where can you
Yeah.
trust? It says, I'm not sure if it's a typo or not. It just says P, the letter P.
P.
Well, P's is money.
What?
Like-
Just the letter?
As in, like, Seaman driving a German whip, blacked out windows, P's and that. Got money and stuff.
Huh.
I'm not down with kids. I just don't understand.
You said it in such a... Oh, I'm not down with kids.
I'm just not down with kids. I just
Get me back on farm.
give me back.
I'll be right.
Before I came here, I worked on a farm for a little bit.
Yeah, of course you did.
Of course I did, because that's
thought
all
that
I
was-
grew up around.
That's like national service in Yorkshire.
I was born in a trough.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, exactly like Jesus.
What you saying?
What's going on?
Yeah.
How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's fine.
I thought that could be a like. I was like, what are you talking about?
What are you saying means what's up. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing bad here.
No, you got it.
Lowit. But low is spelled
Lowe.
Lowe.
Allow it, fam. Allow it. Allow it.
Love it.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Allow
it. Allow it.
Allow it.
Yeah,
I
think so. I think so.
Allow it.
Again, I'm so glad I watched Top Boy recently.
See, I watched it last year and I've forgotten everything.
It's good though, isn't it?
I know. Clicking, and that's it.
What?
But yeah, what will they do?
Clicking. Kissing their teeth.
Kissing the teeth. Clicking their teeth. Jesus Christ.
We're so cool.
I can't remember anything about anything. All right, wrestling is all I have.
No, Kano was in it, and he was a really good actor, actually. Couldn't believe it.
So I've seen a little film called Chicken Run recently.
There you go. And it's a bit like Top Boy.
Mrs. Tweedy.
Mrs. Tweedy. Chicken's going. Pies come out.
The chickens have escaped. Allow it.
We can get bare peas from these chicken pies. Oh, dear.
Bait.
Obvious.
That's food. Maybe.
Bait, if you bait yourself out, I know this one. I just can't explain it. Being bait is being like... So, like, if someone's puffing away on a doobie of marijuana, and then someone's like, oh no, the police are coming, they're like, stop being bait. Like, stop. Don't make it obvious. Just be calm.
Okay.
I guess. I'm going to find that
Well,
one
yeah,
out.
I guess, because that would be bait, right? That would be bait for the police to come in.
That'd be right, bait.
That'd be proper bait, that.
Oh no, Urban Dictionary says it's short for masturbation.
Oh, no.
That can't be true. Bait, when something is obvious, it's bait that you were bear prang.
No.
Okay.
You're saying words now, Jack. It's...
Yeah. Garms.
Garms.
Oh, come on.
Garms?
Got some wavy garms, mate?
Yeah, I thought it was clothes.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, like, no.
Garments.
Garment. You want, yeah. Okay.
Oh, here's one. Oh, good. I've got one. Mandem. Yeah. The thing you run.
Group of males.
Yes. And if you get to if you beat all the henchmen numbered numerically, you get Jakes.
I don't know.
Is that like Japes?
I was like, Jake is in the name with an S on the end.
I'm not exactly certain.
Nah, no clue.
A group of Jakes.
Ah,
I didn't. Nah,
I've got it. It's the police.
Oh.
It's the fuzz. It's the
popo.
5-0. It's the rozzers.
Popo.
The Rozzers.
Any more? It's the filth. It's the fuzz.
The filth, yes.
It's the pigs. No.
Shook. That's like scared, worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worried.
Is it scared
Like,
or
literally
shocked?
shaken,
Shook.
isn't it?
I'm shook, fam.
Yeah.
Just like that.
God.
I went to York. Dungeons were closed. I was shook.
I was shook, fam. Scary in them dungeons, I'm telling you.
Maybe we're too northern, you know.
Could be.
Yeah.
They all do
we
seem
literally
quite...
are.
They do seem quite, like, southern slang sayings.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
I think this person said around the United Kingdom. Could someone clarify? These all look very south.
Yeah.
Ends. ENDS.
Ends is like your neighbourhood. Like, oh, let's go back to my ends.
That makes sense. A draw. Draw spelled like D-I-A-W.
Something drug related, but I'm not sure what. Like an amount of.
A draw
a
or
measurement.
something.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm going to talk to my southern friends on Facebook Messenger and show them what I know.
Urban Dictionary's let me down on this one.
Ooh.
It's the accepted pronunciation of drawers, which refers to a male's underwear or boxers. That's just a definition.
Yeah.
That's not urban. That's not Urban Dictionary. That's Suburban Dictionary.
Ops. OPP.
Oh my god.
Ops.
So
Special ops. Tom Clancy.
I'm sure that ops is like what like drill rappers call their people that they want to shoot opponents, like ops.
Whoa.
Oh,
Like-
opposition. And yeah, okay.
Hommit and
See
B, I've got Galley on me, Up Block Bally on me, Panic and Dash, Dem Man Run and Retreat. That's a song that I know by
Awesome.
That's sick, that.
by Unknown T. Hommit
Sick.
and B.
That's a good one.
He's got Galley on him. Up Block
Oh, he's
Bally on
unknown.
him.
Oh, that's why I didn't know that.
Op block bally on him. He's on his opposition's block. He's in the ends of his ops. He's got a balaclava on. Then they panic and dash. Then man run and retreat.
I've never felt so out of place right now. Like, I just don't...
This is great. This is so relevant to me in my... Yeah, this is why I'm doing so well in this.
I've gone through a bit of the phase of listening to Unknown T, but it leads to a whole murky world of drill music, which is just terrifying, really. Because, like, there's a lot of actual deaths that have happened in stuff around it.
Yeah. I was into Unknown S more.
Yeah.
Yeah, before Unknown T was a thing.
Gully.
Dunno.
Gully.
Dunno,
I feel like I know.
Oh, lads,
maybe
I've just remembered that Richard's listening to this because he's editing.
He'll know every single one of these.
He'll know every one of these. Oh, he'll be laughing at us so much.
Is an impression of what Richard looks like right now.
He's got us on Skype to his mates going, listen to these lads.
He'll be wearing his fancy shirts. He'll be on his little smoky stick thing. I don't know what they're called. Vapes, that's it. He'll just be kicked back on his chair, and just absolutely the saddest expression on his face ever.
Absolutely. In case anyone watches this out of context and just think what is this? Is this like we're trying to prove something? No, we have a segment on the podcast. We're going through slang because we use our colloquialisms, like D instead of do and all the stuff. So people are sending theirs, and this is trying to see if we can guess them.
So this is comfortably the worst we've ever done.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. But we're not from the south.
We're not from Australia. The South's only down there.
That's why it's fun. We annoyed all the Americans because you said they say y'all all the time. So imagine what the South are going to say.
So gully is apparently something from the streets or something that's a bit gangster, a bit G.
Whoa,
gully.
I see. Okay, so we are not gully.
No.
How you say that?
We are not gully.
Yeah, and finally,
no, we're not.
Finally, dead ting.
Ugly.
Dead ting. It's a dead thing, though.
Her friend is a dead ting. Take one for the team with the brethren.
He knows.
Paintings in the entrance.
Jack's lying.
A man can't let them.
Jack knows every single one of these.
That's a pop song. That one's in the charts. Funky Friday by Dave.
Awesome. Dave.
He's just called Dave. Yeah, Dave.
Oh, okay.
You got that lad on stage. You got that lad on stage at Glastonbury, and they did that song. Thiago Silva. You got that lad on stage at Glastonbury.
Ooh,
the meme.
Nice.
Alex from Glastonbury and Dave.
What?
Brilliant.
No, if you know, then it'll make perfect sense. But it just sounds like I'm just naming people.
Yeah.
Dave and Alex, you know it. Dave and Alex.
Dave was performing at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And invited a lad named Alex, just out of the crowd, just some teenager, to rap the other half of his song with him because the other rapper wasn't there.
Was he blown up?
What?
Was he blown up?
Was he blown up? Was he tired? Yeah. So then Alex did it so enthusiastically that it travelled across the internet and became a bit of a meme.
Wow.
Do you not remember Alex from Glastonbury?
Like vaguely.
He had a bucket hat on and a PSG shirt.
No, I don't.
Okay, and it was bait that he was bare
ting, bro.
Well, I don't know you lads, but I'm shook.
We have thoroughly embarrassed ourselves.
Yeah, this is just being humiliating. We look like the guys complaining about Bad Bunny now, and I feel gutted. Urban Dictionary may not show the most accurate descriptions, so if you're still confused with some of these, please don't hesitate to hit me up. I'll just be hiding from you, I think.
I did use Urban Dictionary.
You guys, right, are the most natural, non-journalist wrestling content creators on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Manny.
Thank you very much.
Should we say something?
What was he called, sorry?
Manny.
Thank you, Manny. Cheers.
Manny, thank you,
I'm trying to think, what should we say from our respective colloquialism slang place to say thank you, Manny?
That was bare whack, Manny. It's whack
no,
bad?
From our colloquialism.
Oh, from our, oh, right.
Yeah, out.
Sorry, I'm just tapping into my...
That will bear
my
whack.
definite Yorkshireness right there.
Yeah. Ta-ra, Manny. Gankani.
Yeah. What would we say? Knee bother kidder. Knee bother.
Silly in a bit, Manny.
That was lovely.
Get the brew on and don't drop your luggy along the Scotswood Road.
I get kettle on for you, pal. Don't you panic. We'll have a brew.
You know when we were watching, was it Yorkshire? Like, it was one of those ones like Yorkshire Fireman Sam or whatever. It was one of those things. And the one thing that, from me and wrestlers like Prince Amin, Rampage, one's from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
I noticed that it is true that they do kind of do this, where in Yorkshire Fireman Sam or whatever, he goes like, just gonna stick a bit of the kettle on. Like he does like a little like staccato kind of like
Stick a bit of kettle on.
Put a bit of biscuit in brew, just like that.
Put a bit of biscuit. You do. You like.
What's that?
There's a lot of
yeah.
It's because we miss most of the T. Like when you say you don't say the, you say the.
Yeah.
Just like
right.
The book over there.
So you just got to cram the T's in when
so you got to get the T's in where you can in not the right place. That's what it is.
It's like a machine gun.
Like a machine gun, yeah.
That's right. Gotta get the T's in because you're going to have your scran later on.
Scran.
No time for faffing about.
He knows.
Aye. Well, on that bombshell, thank you very much for the Reese's Pieces. I can't wait to see which country or area of same country, bollocks. Part of the world that we live in that we don't know the colloquialisms and slang. Please educate us by sending your magnificent word pieces to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
Or any Reese's Pieces for that matter. Doesn't have to be accent based.
I think we're just on a run at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah.
Can you remember any from the American one?
Y'all.
God willing.
God willing and the creek don't rise.
Well, yeehaw.
That's it, yeah. Remember the Alamo!
Oh my god.
It's Cultaholics.
Okay, so it's going to sound weird, Andrew, but at the end of this bit, I have to do this noise. I'm contractually obligated to, so... what a great podcast. Thank you for touching your heart. That meant a lot to me, mate. People like that, because I did it one time seriously, and everyone laughed. And the big question... Beg your pardon. Go on, Andrew.
I was going to say, it's nice. It brings the segment in nicely. It's comforting when you go,
That's Tetley. There you go.
Some shouting going on outside. Some shouting.
Oh, is there? Sorry, wait, 2 seconds.
Who is it? Jill. It's Jill. It's Jill.
No, I just heard some shouting, lifted up the window, and it was as they were walking past, just talking, and they all just looked at me like that. Well, they think I'm a freak now. Because I'm just... noises.
Mate, you can't mess with the man, Dem. The
What if
big
they
question
were
this week...
ops on my ends?
The big question this week, kicking and screaming, is who should the Royal Rumble winners face at WrestleMania?
Who should they select?
Who should they select? Yeah, I didn't say that very well. Apologize.
No, I was just adding a new bit of spice to that.
Spin.
Yeah.
Hot.
That's right.
So we got
Bit of
Edge.
Yeah, so right now, Edge is going through all the brands. And he's shaking their hands and go, oh, and what do you do? Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, what a lovely contribution you do here. Is it Otis? Fantastic. And is this Tucker? Does he work here? Is he a fan? Anyway, he's going through all the brands. Hasn't picked who he's going to wrestle yet. So we should be discussing this. And also, Bianca Belair still has to decide, after that amazing segment, who she's going to whip her hair on. So,
Yes.
Jack, start off with you, Mr. Wrestling, as they call you in the biz. Who do you think Edge should be cashing in on? Not cashing in, that's wrong, isn't it? Selecting.
But I know what you mean. I think that Edge shouldn't pick Balor. Stay away from the old NXT. I think that... I don't think he need... Originally, I was against him going against Roman, but I'll say he should select Roman, which looks like it is probably going to happen, but only if he loses. Roman should win. Well, Roman should win that. I don't want Roman's momentum to be kind of halted by Edge. But with Edge, I'm not too bothered as long as it's one of the two main ones and probably that he loses, which is a shame. But, you know, it's time to... You can't be sacrificing Roman or Drew if he keeps the belt through Elimination Chamber, so, yeah. What do you think, Andrew?
I would also go for that. I love NXT and stuff, and I'd give anything to see Edge versus Balor in any other kind of context rather than a title match, I think. But with the way that Roman seemed like quite concerned about Edge as a threat, I think that makes more sense. I think there's a more interesting match to be had with Roman rather than Drew. So I also agree that I think he should probably lose, which is a bit weird, like him winning the Rumble and then he's got all this momentum behind him because he's just come back again after another injury. And he's taking all this momentum into WrestleMania and he's building so much buzz around all these promos and stuff he's doing. But I think if you take the belt off Roman, then that stunts all the work that he's done up to now. And that doesn't make much sense. That doesn't make much sense. Especially, I don't know if they are going to build up to it, but like maybe a Rock versus Roman thing down the line somewhere. But yeah, I think for Edge, yeah, I think Roman, without a doubt. It seems like the most interesting one to me, at least, anyway.
Maffew.
I'll go with Drew. Because as much as I'd like to see a Roman versus Edge match of who has the worst spear in WWE, I'm more interested in the idea of keeping Drew, of his character. That's right, the screen just came on for some reason, Andrew. Don't get scared. Drew's gimmick has been, at times, I'm such a big fan of all these wrestlers. On Scotland, we had one TV in our entire village. And so the time I'd get to watch WWF was very precious and all this stuff that they write about him. It would make sense. He goes, Edge, I'm such a big fan. I can't wait to kick your teeth down your throat. I mean, that'd be great. I can see that being well. It is kind of get awkward with Sheamus and that, but hopefully that'll just be the build-up.
I feel like that's going to be the match, the WrestleMania match for Drew. Which sounds weird, but they've been building to it for a while.
I think that would annoy Sheamus more. Really? Drew, I'm going to get you. I'm going to do such bad things to you. And he's like, that sounds bad. I want to fight you as well. But after Edge, because he's way more famous. And then, like, Sheamus like, how dare you? And then, like, Sheamus could interfere in that match then, and like, Edge could beat Drew or whatever, and Edge could then go, well, I've still got it. I beat Drew. And then...
Oh, you think Edge will beat Drew?
To set up Sheamus versus Drew, because I think that'd be good. It's like, you think you can wait? You think you wait? Because Edge was in the sexy 98 period, and I was in the ugly 2010 period. Oh, that's right. I'm going to kick you as well. I think that'd work better.
Okay, fair enough. But so for the women's one...
Okay, yeah.
We've got Bianca Belair. She's got Io Shirai on NXT, Sasha Banks on SmackDown, Asuka on Raw. But I'm thinking it'll probably be Lacey Evans, Charlotte for the Raw belt. I mean, that's speculation, but it seems to be the way they're going for the Raw belt and for the heart of her dad. And so I think, it's got to be Bianca and Sasha, hasn't it? Surely. That's the one here. And they're both good, so it should be really good if they do that. But Andrew, do you agree?
I agree. I think that's, I think that's the most interesting one because I think it is going to be Charlotte and Lacey fighting over that. And I don't think Bianca will go back to challenge Io. That seems like, it sounds bad to say like a regression for her to do something like that.
But it all would be though.
But it would be, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think Sasha and Bianca, I think it would be a really good match as well. I think they've got like almost similar-ish styles. Like I think they'd fair go hard on each other.
Bianca's certainly got the size and strength advantage though.
She does.
Just trying to analyse this a little bit.
He's picking up Otis and everything. Blow me neck. Otis is like 50 Sasha Banks. That's crazy.
That's it. It's actually a measurement now. How big is he? He's about a third Otis. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't say anybody else but that. Obviously, Charlotte and Lacey may not need the title. They'll still have a Ric Flair on a pole match, and they can do that. And you if you cut promos the entire time, I think that would work all right. But for now, keep it simple. Keep them away from Raw. Bianca's too good for the disgust of Raw right now. So yeah, keep on SmackDown. Keep her in the good place.
High above the mucky muck.
Yeah, high above the mucky muck.
Disgusting disgust.
Yes. And it's the exact moment Maffew ran out of steam, so I just said the same word again. Yes, disgusting disgust of Raw. Yeah, SmackDown, be great. Looking forward to it. Scene.
Yeah, yes, I can't think of anything.
Really. Yeah, it's nothing interesting there. It's two really good wrestlers going at it.
I guess to end, we could say, Andrew, how you found your first.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been nice. It's been, thank you so much for both of you for easing me into this whole thing. I was genuinely so nervous before, but it's a strange one. I just get nervous about anything. I wake up in the morning, I've got to get in the shower. What if the shower's too hot? I'm nervous about that. And do you know what I mean? Just everything just gets to me. But you guys have been so welcoming and so nice. So thank you for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, Andrew, you've put us in a good Mardy. So appreciate your decorum, your face, and everything else you brought to the table today. And, as Heidegger said, everything is anxiety. So maybe that's good for you. It only works for me. But Andrew, this is the time of the show. I know most people don't get this far. What do you have to plug? What is on tap?
What is on tap? We've got predictions coming out. I'm going to be on predictions this week. And also, I usually do the Twitch on the Mondays, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Sometimes I'm making Lego. Sometimes, like this week just gone, I'm doing flips and stuff for whatever reason. Yeah,
What type of flips?
Front flips.
You do front flips?
Well, like I put loads of cushions down. I can nearly land a front flip, right? I can nearly land a front flip. And I was like, I can do it. And one of these days I'm going to do it. Just from standing, I'm going to do it. But I didn't get very far. Did it about twice on Monday. And then as the week has gone on, my back has got worse because I'm quite an old man now. But we do all daft things. It's basically just a nice excuse to chat to the people that watch these things and all the nice people out there that support us, which is good.
Wow, well, you've sold me. I mean, between your front flips and Pachiti's headstands, it's going to be like Osprey Ricochet by the time we all get together. Fantastic. Well, that's me excited. Jack, what have you got for us?
Twitch with Owen on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Cultaholic FC have made the playoffs. So there'll be some playoffs coming up soon. Maybe we'll lose in the first round. I don't know, but we have to tune in to find out. And there might, depending on how far we get, there might be some end of season award votes to do as well. But that could be the one after, depending on how far we get. We really don't know, but we've made it. We've snuck into the playoffs. We were actually shaking. Afterwards, we were like, "Oh my god, it was tense." So that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Wow, it sounds really anticlimactic. But on Twitch on Saturday, I'm continuing my playthrough the first time, surprisingly to some people, of Resi 1.
Ooh.
Original 1. So I could see all the cutscenes past the, what? Don't stop. Don't go through that door. And all the other stuff that people love. So that's fun. Everyone in the chat is there going, I can't believe I haven't played this game before. Watch out, Maffew. There's zombies in it. You might get scared. So appreciate that. But that's all of us. As a reminder, you can go to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Send in your votes to the magnificent Hall of Fame. And you can also send us in your questions, your theories, your slang, and everything else you'd like to send us at mailbag@cultaholic.com. Doesn't sound right, does it? I got it right.
No, it's not. It was just because you said at mailbag@cultaholic.com.
But now, it's the end. And Andrew, we like to end the show by putting our fists, these things here, up to the camera, saying the famous Cultaholic expression, the count of 3, which is, of course, 1, 2, 3.
Join us.
Wagga, 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 wagga.